Hey, come by and Happy New Year! Yeah, 2025! Alright. We're here doing something different today. But before we even jump into what the plan is for today, which is going to be a lot of talking, I wanted to bring up something. All right, don't click off. Don't click off for any people who are watching the archive. Hang on, chill out for just a second. Bear with me. Look at this. I want you to look at this graph right here. Do you see this graph right here? Ace is here. Nice to have you. Do you see this? All right, we are 500 hours away from being able to monetize a channel. Well, semi-monetization. It's not full monetization. Full monetization is down here. But let's not worry about that one. This is one that we care about here. And once we get partial monetization, then we can do supers. And you're probably thinking, oh, well, a lot of these people are in the chat. I don't expect the folks in the chat to be donating that much money. Y'all don't seem like the type to just throw money at me randomly, and that's totally fine. I don't expect that. However, if you do recall, in my last stream, which if you didn't watch, you should definitely watch, we had one hell of a fun time doing lots of challenges, playing games, but also raising money for charity, and I would love to be able to do that again in the future. And it would be a lot better if we could get chat involved, and I think chat would feel a lot better. They could just make a $1 donation, say, hey, that dollar is going to charity, and I'll say, yep, that $1 is going to charity, and we can do more stuff like this in the future. So, being able to get, you know, supers enabled would be super cool. Supers enabled to be super cool. See? So, basically what I'm saying is, in order to get to that place, we need 500 more watch hours in order to get there. All right, we're really close. This is the closest I've ever been. So basically, watch my videos. Watch that last video. It's 7 hours long. Man, if only just a few people watched that whole thing in full, we'd probably get there in no time. So basically, hey, just put my video on and go to bed or something. Just have it on. It's like background noise while you play a game or you develop a game or you go to sleep. You know, you just lay down on the couch and just want to take a nap and oops, I left Nolan's videos on. Oh well, right? And don't worry, I got you set up for that. There's a whole playlist. You can just set the playlist to autoplay and it'll just go through all of my videos, you know, start to finish. I do think YouTube will kind of nudge you and be like, hey, you still watching? But you know, just once in a while, you know, just go back and just kind of give it a poke. Or, you know, I've been releasing the stream highlights, right? Well, not stream highlights, but compilations. They're like 10 hours long. You can just take any one of those and just put it on, you know? Those I call them like indie games, the movie, which they're the most half-hearted attempts of getting watch time. I definitely need to kind of step up my game there, but I just never have the patience, the care to do it. But anyways, I do think there's gonna be actually, I think the most recent one just released actually, because I think I set it to the 3rd, maybe. Hang on, did it just go out, or does it go out this week? I don't know. But there should be another one of those whatever, one of those like just compilations of like a month's streams. Oh no, so it goes out on the 8th. I see. Okay, so it'll go out soon. That one actually has a little bit of editing in it compared to the previous ones. The previous ones, I didn't do anything. I didn't do any editing. I just slapped all the videos together. I think I did put the like game titles in between each one, but like that was it. This next one has some editing. I cut out like some of the toilet breaks. I cut out some of the like moments of silence or whatever. So anyways, but you know, it's coming out on the 8th. It's 8 hours long. It's 8 more hours. You know, we get, what is this? I get an average of like 30 people watching those. So, you know, 30 people by 8, what is that? 240 hours? That's pretty good. That's half of the amount that we need. Instead of that fire log going on. on Christmas. Just put, yeah, exactly. I mean, Christmas is gone now, so I don't know, but you know, just put me on in the background. So anyways, yeah, so that's the thing there. So just help me out here, all right? I'm not asking for a lot. I barely remember to ask you guys to like and subscribe. Oh, you should do that too. I'm not asking for much. We're just trying to get to that 3,000 watch time, all right? And so just help me out here. Just 500 more hours to go. Less than that. Less than 500 more hours to go. So, now with that said, let's move on to today's topic. We're going to put some tunes on in the background. I think this is going to be mostly just tunes in the background kind of day. So let's get the balance going here. It's quiet for you, but it's a little bit too loud for me. So let's get this sorted here. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. All right. So, okay, so here's what we're doing today. This was actually by... No, it's still Christmas. Yeah, sure, if you say so. I got kind of it's got nothing on it, to be honest, but it's kind of like a Christmassy sweater on underneath here. Anyways, so what I wanted to do today is kind of look back at the previous year of games that I've played on this channel, and we're gonna kind of rate them. We're gonna see, like, you know, which ones are the good ones, which are the bad ones, where they've gone within the past year, and you know, just kind of look back at the previous year and see how things went. You know, I thought about kind of doing some sort of tier list or some sort of like bracket, you know, tournament bracket to like see which ones are the winners and which ones are the losers. But yeah, you know, I don't know. I just kind of enjoyed the idea of just sitting back with a drink and just chatting about them. I was kind of flipping through the games just to see like what games I'm going to be talking about. You know, it's for the thumbnail too. I needed to kind of remember what are the most appealing games to put in the thumbnail, and you know, so I was kind of flipping through these a little bit and just checking them out. And I was just like, you know what? Some of these games I just want to talk about. I just want to chat about, and I feel like it'd just be more fun to just chat about them. Any games getting worse updates? It's funny you bring that up. We'll get there. Yeah. You know, we got some drama. We got some drama to cover. So, you know, I think there's always lots of fun stuff to just talk about. And so I'm sorry. You know, I feel like this is gonna be on paper, on the surface, it may sound boring, but hey, like I said, we're trying to get to 500 watch hours. We're trying to get 500 more watch hours. So just stick around, all right? Just stick around. I promise we'll have some fun, all right? So, over the year, you can see here on the PACBUT system, on the PACBUT system, I've gone ahead and just marked right here with green. This was the first game that we had played for 2024. Now, this is not all of the games. There's one game on here that's not on the list. I think I just hated it so much that I decided not to even bother with it on the list. But then also, you know, later in the year, I wound up moving away from this old style of grading games into what I've now called the new BUT system. So we have those games over here as well that we will look at. The one downside is it's actually this old BUT system was pretty good because I used to put the links to the games here too, because I imagine people might actually click on this sheet and may be curious to find those games. So I put a link to the games on here. But now the new system is, because who gives a shit about any of this grading stuff? It's a joke. That's why we have the better than Concord section on here, because no one cares. I don't care. Do you care? You don't care. No one cares. So I started taking less care of this because it's just a waste of time, you know? But unfortunately, that does make my job a little bit harder for the second half of this list, because now I don't have convenient links to click on. So anyways, so to go through, starting out here with Our Dying World, a 500-hour stream starts today. Oh boy, that's not happening. So, all of these also link
so today's
to...
gonna be,
wow, there's two Nolans talking. Let's just mute that. I also have links to the stream so we can bring them up to remember. That's one thing I will say is that most of these games I actually don't remember, to be honest. We'll see. Like this one, Our Dying World, I certainly don't remember. It's got some art. I really don't remember this game at all. Let's bring up the store page. Does anyone remember this game? I don't remember this. Well, I guess that shows how much any of this meant to me. So sorry, but yep, I don't even remember this game. That was gonna be one of the other things too. It's like I was gonna have brackets, and maybe we should keep. Hang on. Maybe we should do this. All right, we're gonna do this in like the cheapest, lamest way possible. I gotta open up Photoshop here for just a second. We're gonna have some tiers here, all right? But not like your regular like S rank, A rank. Instead, we're gonna let's first set up a new document. We'll just do 2560 by 2560. Sure, that sounds good. All right, so basically, we're just gonna set up like here. We'll just have like it's P good. Right, that's a little bit small. Let's make that like no, that's still too small. Let's do a 72. We need more. 120. There we go. It's P good. All right, and then we have I don't remember. Wait, that's no space. Member. I don't remember. Still no space. Let's get rid of that. All right. And kind of stretch it out. I don't remember. And Concord. There we go. Alright, so now we're just gonna put some of this stuff here. Just kinda separate it, create some. Why did it switch to the pen? Don't do that. There we go. Yeah, alright. Yeah, okay. There's tier maker if you do something like the tier. Yeah, I know, but nah, I don't want to set that up. I think I've used it before, but you gotta like, I don't know. It takes too much time. I know how to do it faster in Photoshop, which is why when I did my tier list video back on Christmas Day, I actually just set it up in Photoshop because I could do it faster than setting it up on tier list maker. So, yeah, alright, there we go. We got It's P Good, I don't remember, and Concord. So we're just gonna kind of like, I don't know, just like add these games, and then we'll kind of like we'll move them around as we go on. So what is this? Dying World. There we go. We're gonna keep it smaller because we got a lot of games to fit on here. So there we go. We'll put it at 48. That's pretty good. And we'll kind of move this around to seeing which one's the number one of I don't remember, or if I do remember and I remember it being bad, then we'll put it over here in Concord. And it's pretty good. That means it is alright. And we'll put it over there. I feel like most games are going to wind up here in our middle column. I don't remember a lot of these games I fucking played, so... So, yeah, anyways. Might as well call it Sons of Concord. So anyways, so next, we have, You Must Become Lich. It's funny, actually, because, so I had, found this game because of, please load the video, Jesus Christ. What's your problem, YouTube? There we go. So, boy, I was a little bit heftier back then, huh? That diet's paying off. Anyways, hello, Orc, nice to have you here. Alright, so, You Must Become a Lich. I actually do remember this one. I had found it, actually, from, Obo Shoes. He had played it on his stream, and he played it terribly. That's kind of his thing, unintentionally, is he plays games very poorly. And it's like the best advertising for the game. It's like those, those mobile game ads where someone just is deliberately playing it poorly, and it just makes you go, no, I can play it so much better. It's right there. It's right. And that's Obo doesn't do it on purpose. He's just literally one of those advertisements, walking, living, just terrible at games. And I'm always just like, no, I want to play that game so I can play it better than him. And this is one of those games. It was actually, you know what? It was actually pretty good. It was pretty good. So, you must become lich. Yeah. It's pretty good. Funny thing is actually, so I did play it on stream. But I did actually play it more off stream. I beat the game. I beat the game off stream. It is alright. I had a good time with it. It's pretty simple. It's not, you know, it's a good, you know, I think I picked it up for $5. What is it? We can go there. We can go to the page and we can just check. It's cheap. And I think I got like 5 hours out of it. So, you know, okay, yeah, it's probably about $5. So yeah. So yeah, I had a pretty good time with it. I think he had a special update too, just like thanking the Obo Shoes community, because after he'd played it, I think a handful of people came and picked it up. So yeah, maybe, I don't know. Anyways, it was a good game. I had fun with this game, so it was pretty cool. I had a good time with it. The Revenant Prince. Okay, so this is actually one of the games I wanted to talk about. So, the Revenant Prince. So Chaucer helped do some some commission work, some contract work for the game. He developed some plugins and stuff for the game. The funny thing is I do remember it. And it had potential. I'm gonna put it under it's P good just because it's not Concord bad. It's also not good. But it's definitely better than I don't fucking remember. So this would probably be at the bottom of the list, wherever it is. The Revenant Prince. What is that? Prince. There we go. All right. So, in fact, I'm already gonna slam it all the way. It's gonna be last place no matter what. So there we go. So yeah. So Chaucer had done some work for this game, and it had good art, it had interesting combat system, but it was very, very wordy. I think this was, in the video itself, we had made jokes about, the lady getting fucked by an orc or something, if I recall correctly. There's like, I don't know. I remember there was a lot of talking. There was just a lot of talking. But, yeah, I don't know. It had, like, interesting art. It had a cool combat system. But, like, we spent this whole time here with it, and I think we had, like, one fight, maybe, if I remember correctly. It was just way too much talking. Now, the reason why I wanted to talk about it today is just because while I was kind of refreshing my memory for this stream, you know, I was looking at the store page, and I was surprised to see it has a Metacritic score. Which you can only get, it's not good. it's not good, but you can only really get that if, like, you know, proper journalistic outlets review your game. So I was curious to see, how did he even get that? How did he do that? He's only got himself 11 reviews. I've played shittier games that have more reviews than that. Like this one at least had like passion and love put into it. It clearly suffers from indie RPG maker syndrome. But like, you know, it was a cut above the rest. So it's sort of surprising that it only had 11. With that said, these reviews are not great. from PC Games here. This is probably one of the more generous ones, sort of. I think that next one, that the 40 there, is pretty harsh. The Revenant Prince had so much potential, which makes it even more depressing that in the end it turned out to be a bore. It does look nice for sure, but that fact alone can only take it so far. The story is completely uninteresting and confusing. You don't know what you have to do half the time. There's a lot of bugs, and fights are moderately entertaining at best. Skip this one. Nice. Here, the harsh one. Despite being a fan of the genre, The Revenant Prince is a tough game to recommend. Although rocking a stellar opening, the game is wildly inconsistent in its tone. Far too many things in the way of simply enjoying the game. These range from incredible difficulty swings, simple movement problems, tone shifts, and odd design choices. If that's not just the grab bag of, you know, solo indie RPG maker dev right there, then I don't know what it is. The good parts of the story stall out, and the regular game is not enjoyable enough to really encourage continuation to play. Actually, I think this one was more harsh than that one. Hey, that was on my birthday, too! Did I write that? Happy birthday, Revenant Prince. I assume that you can add a link to Metacritic and Steam does some calls to get the rating. Yeah, but these are not user ratings. These are still... Like, I'm not talking about how he got that there. I'm saying, how did he get people from, like, outlets to actually pay attention to his game? Like, does Dungeon Rummage? Like, if we bring up Dungeon Rummage... Oh, we'll just search Tiki. It's just no you, right? Yeah, like Tiki doesn't have, and it has more ratings. It has more reviews. It has 17. That's not a lot more, but still, it has 17. But there's no Metacritic rating. So, anyways, I mean, I guess maybe Orc didn't set that up. If we search Tiki, there it is. It's just TBD. So that, yeah. So yeah, no, there's user ratings, but like what I'm saying is, like, to get actual rating like this comes from proper outlets. This doesn't come from users. Metacritic doesn't give a shit about what the users have to say. It only cares about what the actual outlets say. So yeah, so it's just interesting that he was able to get outlets to pay attention. It was interesting that I was able to get outlets to pay attention to the game, but not that many purchases. That's really all I wanted to talk about this game, honestly. It's just that interesting. I wonder how he got that. I wonder if he has anything else coming up? No. Too bad. Alright. Anyways. So next we have Orsted. So, I actually had fun with this. It was kind of like a city builder game. It was pretty... It had like a puzzle element to the city building. Because it was about like organizing the... You wanted to organize buildings in a particular fashion to like maximize efficiency. I actually had a pretty good time with this, and I've wanted to actually look back at this game because when I had played it, it was still in development, but actually shortly after, it did launch onto Steam and is now in 1.0. I had left some, I had left some feedback on the game, and actually the developer had responded to my feedback and actually took a lot of the advice to heart. If I recall correctly, one of my biggest problems I had with this game is that just stuff wasn't explained very well. They'd always have like little cutesy blurbs about like the building or whatever, but it didn't actually have like an actual functional description, which got really annoying because it was difficult to understand what I was doing in the game. And I think the developer acknowledged that. I think he said he was gonna put that into the 1.0 is like actually have functional descriptions for the buildings, but I haven't taken a look yet. It's on my Steam wishlist, and it's a game that I do genuinely want to pick up and take another look back at. But I've just been waiting for enough time to pass And maybe that'll be this year. I've always kind of had an idea of having like, oh, where are they now kind of section to look back at some of the past games that I played and see where they are now. So maybe we'll kick it off with Orsted. I don't know. But I had a pretty good time with it, but it was an alpha. I do enjoy city builders, so it's also definitely kind of my genre. I'm not very good at puzzle games, so the kind of puzzle aspect was a little bit tough, but whatever. We'll put it up there, but it might get moved around. Oh, do I like it more than You Must Become? I don't know. It's not a big deal. I'll leave it like that. That's totally fine. So anyways, yeah. So Orsted is pretty good. Next is, it took me I actually remember this one. It was funny when I was looking through all of the games that I played last year to try to, figure out what I was going to do for this stream, how I was going to set things up and whatever, the thumbnail. I clicked on this game and I was like, I remember there being something about this game, but like all of the art and all of that, like it's not ringing any bells. But there was something about this, and then it hit me. I forgot. This developer like stalked me after I did the review. I don't really know what they were doing necessarily. I think I had posted. I had posted a review, but they wound up switching it over to community, which deletes all the comments. And I think my review originally was a comment on this page. Hopefully that was just an accident that they weren't aware of, and they weren't just trying to eliminate my review. But anyways, my review was not positive this game. I don't remember necessarily all my problems with it. I really don't remember much about this game, if I'm being honest. But I do remember that after posting that review, the developer, tracked me down. I mean, I guess it's not that hard. I think at the time there was a Discord link in my description. I think it's still there. So it's not like it was that hard, but still it is a little bit weird that they wound up joining my Discord, and then of course Discord says, hey, they joined, and so we started saying, hey, thanks for joining, and then they're like, oh crap, you guys noticed that I joined, and then just shortly after just left. I don't know, it was weird, it was kind of creepy. I don't know what was up with that, but anyway, so the dev is a little bit off their rocker. Cool. I remember that interaction, but I don't remember anything else about the game, so we're just gonna put it here. What is it? I don't even remember what it's called. Miss Liz Prologue we'll just call it Maid Cafe. I don't want to write all that out. Who cares? That's totally fine. There we go. All right. So, and actually, you know what? We're gonna move Dying World down, and we're gonna move Maid Cafe up, because I do remember, or maybe it should be, who cares? Maybe it should be, maybe the lower down it is, the more I remember, and the higher up it is, who cares? Who cares? This doesn't matter. Alright, anyways, so yeah, Maid Cafe. What a weird experience. Next, here's another fun game. This game doesn't exist anymore. Deepest regret. I thought my deepest regret was playing the game, but it turns out it was the devs' deepest regret. Shortly after my review of this game, it's the dev deleted it. It's gone. It's no more. Oops. Okay. So anyways, I do kind of remember this one. It was like a third person hack and slash, and it was really poorly balanced. and it was just nonsensical. It had like really poorly designed UI. Game retired. Yeah. Deepest regret. That's funny. That's right under Concord. I bet Concord is Firewalk Studios' deepest regret. Probably Sony's deepest regret too. Anyways, yeah, that one. Guild of Heroes. That's the next one. So I only remember the title, and I think I remember being disappointed by this game simply because the font is basically straight out of Heroes of Might and Magic, and then also of Sword and Wizard. Not only is this font very reminiscent of Heroes of Might and Magic, but then of Sword and Wizardry, it's also like clearly a play on Might and Magic, right? Might being the sword and magic being wizardry, but then the game itself it's nothing at all like it. So that's all I remember. I don't remember any of this at all. I just remember being disappointed by the title. So yeah, what do we say about that? I say I don't remember. Not Hom. We'll just call it that. Yeah. It's not Heroes of Might and Magic. There we go. Very nice. Okay. So next. I also did not remember this one when I was kind of flipping through these games. The art is vaguely familiar. It's got a, you know, unique, cute art style. But I don't remember much about my experience with this game. So there's nothing else to say about that. We'll just put that in here. What is this? Princess Marzipan? Marzipan and Strong Badia. There we go. Holy crap! Anyway, we gotta close out all these tabs. Go away, go away, go away. The only thing it comes on your mind. That sounds dirty. But the game Quiz de Hugh. I don't even know what the fuck that is. Island of Caliph. Okay. So when I was flipping through, I had forgotten about this game, but when I was flipping through this catalog, I did suddenly remember this game. I remember it was pretty old school, interesting, like, you know, first-person dungeon crawler. In the vein of Might and Magic, coincidentally. This one was more Might and Magic than the fake Heroes of Might and Magic game. But what I mostly remember, you know, I remember having an okay time with it. I like its old school charm, but I remember mostly spending a lot of time talking about game engines with you, Ace, actually. I think you and I were looking up the engine that is built in, which was like engine A8 or something like that. I don't remember. It was like some German engine. I'm sure Orc knows all about it. It's from his motherland. Anyways, it was a game that I think I wanted to play more of, but I just never did, and I probably honestly never will. Also, nice to have you here, BG. Thank you for joining. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna put it in It's P Good because I had an intention of playing more, just never did. Caliph. I'll put it right there. That's fine. Mimic Logic. This is the... Yeah. I kinda remember this game. I remember because it was like pretty popular. Yeah. It's got some pretty good reviews. I think it was a slow month on Steam, and there wasn't much else releasing, so everyone just played this game, and it was cheap. So for a, you know, a RPG Maker game, it got some reviews, but I didn't have a very good time with it. Yeah. Nothing much else to say about that. I guess where do we put it? I do remember it, and I do remember not having a good time with it, so I can mimic logic. But can you have logic? Only if you own a Mac. Mimic, there we go. Mimic Mac. Mimic Logician. Anyways, I do remember it, and I remember it not having fun with it, so we're gonna put it under Concord. Wild Silver. Okay, so I remember this game only because of the drama that got me to play it in the first place. Basically, the game is not good. It's, you know, RPG Maker 101 type game. There's just nothing that interesting going on. Oh, I totally forgot about the stealth section. Oh my god. Okay, they have a stealth section in there, and I think I remember it being really bad because it's just, you know, instant game over kind of thing. But what got me playing it in the first place was basically just to say fuck you to some dude, because like this dude had basically stalked the developer. Apparently the guy had some sort of soft lock or something and had posted about it in maybe the community forums here on Steam, but just never got an answer or wasn't satisfied with the answer, I don't remember, and decided to actually create an account on RM Web to find where they had posted about the game and had started basically harassing the developer on RM Web. They are not an RPG Maker dev at all. They literally just signed up to harass the developer. So I was basically, as a fuck you to him, I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna fucking play it. I'm gonna throw some money at the guy. I'm pretty sure I still have this game too. I didn't want to refund it, even though it wasn't very good. Yeah, I do. I was just like, hey, I'm gonna go ahead and just give this guy some money just to make you angry. So anyways, yeah, it's still here. I still have it, so. Anyways, yeah, but it was also not very good, so, here we go. Wild Silver. Yeah. You have to forgive me. I'm just getting over a cold. So probably have to blow my nose sometimes. I love how the Steam logo for it is just black text on white. Is that, are you talking about Mimic Logic or was that Wild Silver? I was a little bit slow to get back to you on that. I mean, Wild Silver at least has, like, an emblem there. So maybe you're talking about Mimic Logic? It's white font with black. No. I don't know, anyways. Who cares? Next, Tiny Life. This is another game. I don't honestly remember anything about this. Just judging off of the pictures, I think it was like a Sims clone. I remember, I think... No, I don't know. I really don't remember anything about this game. So, what is that? Not The Sims. That's what we'll call it. I don't remember what it was called. Tiny Life. That's what it was. Mimic Logic. Oh, yeah. So you're talking about Wild Silver. Okay. Alright, oh, and then from here, I stopped linking the stream. I got really bad at keeping up with this form, which is why we switched over to this format. It's less for me to have to keep up with. Anyways, Wrath of the Goose King. So there's sort of a funny story with this one. The game itself, I do remember. I do remember this game, just because me and the dev had an interaction. Probably if I had never had any interaction with him, I probably wouldn't have remembered anything specifically about this game. But basically, after I had streamed this game, the dev was not happy with my clickbait because it had implied his game was bad, I think. Which, I mean, I didn't enjoy it. I think some of y'all in chat though kind of vibed with it. So, you know, it's like, it's fine, you know, it's it's I guess. But I didn't enjoy it, and the developer didn't really like my clickbait, and so I was like, all right, I'll make a deal with you. I don't get that many views, so for a test run, I just won't do that much clickbait on my channel and just see what happens. You know, I'll have an interesting thumbnail, but it won't be a spicy thumbnail, and I will just give it like an appropriate title and see what happens. And it's really kind of hard to say if I'm being honest. It's hard to say what the results of the test were, because honestly, my viewership is so low and it fluctuates so much that it's hard to say when, oh yeah, clickbait was what succeeded there, and oh, clickbait, that wasn't very good clickbait, or whatever. So it's really hard to say what the results of that test was. But let's see. It's also, you know, so here's where that is. I changed the title. I changed the title for him. Oh, and we're gonna be talking about Bunny Girl game soon too. I changed the title to be less inflammatory. Like, it still doesn't really tell you much about what I'm playing. But there's still like semi-clickableness to it, but also not. Here we have Artifact Stinker. That's its first appearance. You can try whatever you want, but you still get the... Yeah, I still get the regulars. The regulars is what kind of balances all out, you know? Here's Artifact Stinker's first appearance. It's funny though, because I think its second appearance, which was only for like 10 minutes, wound up getting way more viewership, which that kind of lends credence to the fact that clickbait does work. But you know, then like over here, I have Indie Games Impress Me Time, and it has 172 views, which I would say kind of falls into my average, especially around that time. We're also looking at this, you know, months later from there, where it probably accrued another 20 or 30 views, which actually, that would probably put it slightly lower than my average, because I think 170 is kind of where the average is. But like I said, it fluctuates quite a lot because of how small my channel is. I'm gonna show up whenever I wake up. Yeah, that's fine. So anyways, yeah, it's kind of, but it is funny. Starting from here, I think I also started playing some of the most interesting games that kind of had lasting impacts on my channel. But they all happened during a time when I was just not doing much clickbait. If we go back to this page here, yeah, and then I think here is I just went back to clickbaiting, but then, you know, I go back to clickbaiting and look, we get 116 views. So, like I said, results are inconclusive. We get like 116, which is garbage, and then 235. And then here, oh, just 100 views. And then, you know, we go back to my fucking Cyberpunk one, and then this almost broke 1,000. Almost, so close. Anyways, what's funny is my fucking spooky game jam stream down here with only a piddly 55 views. Almost as many for my like off hours, didn't alert anyone, just no scheduled stream, Christmas Day stream of just talking about music, has almost as many views as playing games. No one gave a shit about spooky jam games. Anyways, Wrath of the Goose King, I remember. Wow, look at all those stats. They're stats. They are stats. They don't really they don't paint much of a picture because they're so all over the goddamn place. Anyways, yeah, Wrath of the Goose King. I'm gonna put it here. Goose King. I do remember it, and I remember not enjoying it. And then the developer didn't like my clickbait. So there's that. All right, next, Tevi. So, okay, so this is funny. So during that stream, I had actually talked about Tevi and my history with it, but to kind of briefly go over it. So the developers, Cray Spirit, I believe they're called. They're actually a Taiwanese-based indie development group. Quite a while back, they had developed a game called Rabby Ribby. I played it. The writing is cringe as fuck, but bunny girls are cute. They always get me. Hate the cringe writing. But it was a Metroidvania with bullet hell elements, and that stuff was pretty good. I'm terrible at bullet hells, but it was still an interesting combination, and I enjoyed that much. And the Metroidvania part was pretty good. It also had really good music as well, which, wins me over. Then they went off and developed some other game that I didn't give a shit about, and then kind of went quiet for quite a while, and then came back with Tevi, which is sort of a spiritual sequel to Rabby Ribby. It's a new world, new characters, but it's basically the same formula. It's got bullet hell bosses, Metroidvania style exploration, and fucking cringe anime dialogue. I'm glad to see that they didn't fucking improve their writing at all between Rabby Ribby and Tevi. So at the time, I had played the demo back then, and my biggest holdup with this game was that it was too damn expensive. It's 4,000 yen, I think. Can we just bring it up? That's the wrong one. Where is Tevi? Tevi. So yeah, it's basically 4,000 yen brand new. And that was like my biggest holdup with this. I was also kind of looking at this, and it's not a fair comparison because Rabby Ribby has been out for a long time. I think it released in 2016. Yeah, it did. Basically the beginning of 2016. But it has 10,000 reviews, while Tevi has been out for a year and only has 3,000 reviews, which, I don't know. You expect for the first year to get the most reviews, so I feel like, despite the age difference there, like, I feel like Rabby Ribby would not have gotten that many more reviews after the first year. Like, would say collectively, I feel like maybe over the 8 years, might have gotten another 1,000 or so reviews on it. But here, with only 1 year and only 3,000, I feel like there's definitely something that has gone wrong with this game, and it's probably the price point, because I don't know if Rabby Ribby was ever discounted. I'm pretty sure it's always been at 2,000 for its just regular MSRP. While here, this is double the cost for basically the same game. And I kid you not, like, the pixel art style is, like, it's got a little bit more detail, but it's very, very similar to Rabby Ribby. So, yeah. I hate the fucking dialogue in this game. It's the fucking worst. Oh, they're probably also charging way more money for it, too, because they added voice acting. First of all, I do want to talk about this. So this was a weird choice. Remember how I mentioned that they're an indie Taiwanese team? The voice acting is in Japanese. Interesting choice. I mean, I guess they're very, anime inspired, so maybe they wanted to be like all those animes they watch, so it's gotta have Japanese voice acting. I don't know why you don't do it in Chinese. But anyways, I also fucking hate it. It is the most grating fucking voice acting ever. It's hard to tell when, like, inflections and stuff in a different language. I'm not perfect at Japanese, but basically, a lot of it is very fucking anime tropey, and anime does this a lot just in regular anime, not Tevi, but there just tends to be like these typical like vocal archetypes, and I don't know, they hit on like some of the whiniest, most hammed up performances that just like really grate on me. I hate them. So I'm really glad they have the VO audio slider because after the first cutscene, I slammed that motherfucker down to 0. It made the cringe dialogue 100 times worse. If you're interested in Tevi, gameplay is pretty fun. It's a good Metroidvania. Do not go into it for story or dialogue. It is cringe AF. Anyways, I did eventually pick it up. At the time, when I had played this, I played the demo. As you can see, there is a demo there. I played the demo on stream, but I didn't want to buy it because 4,000 is way too expensive for this kind of game. However, just back during the, I think it was actually the winter sale, it went on sale for 50% off, which brought it down to the price it should be. It should be priced at motherfucking 2,000 yen, like your previous game was. If you wanted to charge 2,500, that would be okay too. 2,000, 2,500 yen, no problem. All right, that seems reasonable. Fucking 4,000 yen. You're out of your fucking gourd. So anyways, I did pick it up, only recently though, and I've only played about an hour of it, and, yeah, as I said, you've heard my complaints. Gameplay is the same as Rabby Ribby. I enjoyed Rabby Ribby. Dialogue writing is just the worst, just the most ooh-woo weeb cringe shit ever. Let's see, Japanese is usually spoken kind of flat, right? Anime has such over-the-top voices sometimes. Yeah, I mean, it depends. Okay, anyways, that's enough talk. I'm surprised I talked about that game so much. I guess it's just because it is a game that I've actually been playing, I'm interested in. So yeah. Anyways. Oh, did I even put it on the list? I didn't. Okay. I liked it, so obviously it's gonna go under is P good. Tevi. There we go. Alright, next, we got Flower in Us. Okay, so I remember this once again, mostly because the developer. I do kind of remember this. It's basically a visual novel. And maybe it's an interesting visual novel. It comes from a Korean dude. I was lied to because it says that there's English language available, but I think we couldn't find the option to change language. So I think we spent the whole stream with me behind my phone, which I don't know where it is. Oh, here it is. Just me behind my phone, like with it open with like fucking Google Lens, just like looking at the screen the whole time, translating the text. Fmod. That was the reason why. Creta Park assists with this game. He's not the developer. Creta Park is like, he's not very active on ARMweb because he's Korean and I don't think he speaks that much English. But boy, Creta Park does some fucking cool plugins. And this fucking mad lad, I shout him out every time, made an integration for Fmod. And if you don't know what Fmod is sort of a middleware app that a lot of big game engines use. But it's for like sound spaces and sound design. So you're able to like, it can do a lot of things. It can do like MIDI queuing for like dynamic music. It can do reverb effects and controlling how like the sound bounces around in an audio space. So it's pretty cool that he was able to create an integration for Fmod for RPG Maker. I've always sort of had an interest in adding Fmod to my game, but I would have to learn the Fmod software because it is its own software, obviously. And there's another thing, and there's sort of a disconnect between having like, you know, pixel art, cutesy pixel art, and then having like really realistic sound spaces. It always kind of strikes me as weird. having like sound that's like you can tell is bouncing off the wall over there, and you can tell when you're in a room or when you're in a cave because of how the sound bounces and stuff like that. All that stuff is it's weird to have that in a pixel art game. It's just a weird juxtaposition between the two that I don't know. I kind of like the very basic cutesy way of handling sound in RPG Maker. Very simplistic. It does the job. So yeah. So anyways, I remember the game. It was a visual novel. Art's pretty good, but I don't like visual novels. So Flower in Us. Need for Speed rules. Whoa, wait. Flower Inside Us? Yes. I have Fmod in a custom engine that sadly didn't end up anywhere yet, but there's quite a lot of stuff that you can do with it. You're more a sound designer than a programmer. I definitely fall into that, but I haven't really played much with Fmod. I got as far as downloading Fmod. That's as far as I got. I was able to download Fmod, and then I was like, I think it was like 2 a.m. when I downloaded it. I was like, I'll take a look at this tomorrow. Tomorrow's still coming. I don't know. I don't really want to fuck around with Fmod. There are some cool things you can do with it. I'd really love, what I'd really love to do, it's, you know, there's a few things I do wish that you could do in RPG Maker. Obviously, spatial sound is one of them. I have a plugin for that, though. One of the other things is having a master bus, a master bus. So basically, you can think of each audio as its own separate track that gets fed into its own audio track. So basically, all of those are getting merged down into a single audio track, and then being able to apply effects to that. You actually see this a lot in AAA games. If you go to the audio setting in AAA games, they often have like you know, like TV speaker or headphone, like they have different mixes available, and you can select like TV mode, headphone mode, night mode, and those are all because it's just changing the master bus mix for the game. And I don't necessarily want to do that, but one of the things I really like is being able to sidechain the sound effects to like the other stuff. So you have like sound effects that like pump the audio. It's what happens. Sidechaining is what happens when I'm streaming. You notice like whenever I'm not talking, the audio gets louder, and whenever I am talking, the audio ducks down out of the way. And that's sidechaining basically. And you get this a lot in AAA games. Whenever you have like gunshots, it will like duck the audio, so that way the gunshots really cut through the mix. I think that stuff is really fucking cool. I love that. It really enhances the volume of it without actually increasing the volume. It makes it feel louder than it actually is. So that's something that's really cool that I would love to be able to do. And just being able to put a compressor on it, and technically, NWJS does have a compressor built into this. This was something I learned somewhat recently, maybe a couple of months ago. Part of NWJS is a compressor, but it's basically there to limit sounds. It's not really doing much to change the dynamics of how the master bus is handling the audio. It's just there to stop like super loud peaks from actually destroying your hardware. You know, you don't like, you have these dumb idiots who don't know anything about sound. Sorry for such harsh language. God. Sorry. Wow, that just came out of nowhere. My gatekeeper musician in me just came out for a second. Sorry. You have these people who don't know much about sound, and they slap, you know, like a fucking bass boosted I don't know, fire attack in there, and it fucking blows up your speaker because it, you know, has like, you know, 0 decibel bass below 20 hertz, right? Because nothing was limited, and the other person who was playing the game just had their speakers up just a little bit too loud. Oh, well, there goes their speakers. You just destroyed their fucking hardware. So basically, the compressor built into NWJS is basically there to stop that, and that's pretty much it. It's not very easy to control. You can, in fact, actually Kthrill on RM Web has a plugin that will give you access to the parameters of it, but it's just not easy. The nice thing is with Fmod is that it will give you a visual interface, and the thing is that compressors, you really kind of want a visual interface for it. To know how much gain reduction is happening. It's really hard to apply gain reduction by ear. You really need to do gain reduction with some visuals. I could probably show you that. While we wait for Reaper to load up, we did put Flower in Us on there. We'll hop back to this topic. Let me just read what you guys are saying. Let's see. It'd be cool to do spatial audio for my games. Not the most convincing in 2D, but I would love to make the soundscape for my games better. Yeah. Just having some simple spatial audio is really all I think you need, especially when you're looking at bird's eye view anyways. I don't know, you can fake spatialness, like you can apply reverbs to sound effects. The thing is like in 3D games, especially like open world games and stuff like that, you tend to transition from one space to another, and you'll be using the same sound effects in different spaces. Like you can imagine going out from a field and then wandering into a cave seamlessly, in which case you would need the soundscape to dynamically transition into a more reverby kind of one. In RPG Maker, it doesn't really, you don't really need to do that because you load into a completely different map to handle exterior and interior spaces. So you can basically fake it by making all your interior sounds, have reverb on them. There is the concern of like attacks and stuff, because you're always going to be using the same attack sound. And so your attacks in the cave are going to sound the same as the attacks that you use outside the cave. You could probably create a plugin to just be able to, like, I don't know, tag the skill animation or tag the skill and select which animation you use and which animation might use different versions of the sound effects. If you really wanted to go that far, I don't think it's necessary. Anyways, when it comes to 2D stuff, I don't know. I think just spatial audio, just in like directional, positional audio is all you need. You don't really need to simulate a like true, cave or whatever with all the reflections that happens with audio, right? Duck pumping is neato. Pumping ducks. Wah, wah, wah. It is part of the web audio spec, so it's not NWJS specific. Well, there you go. There's a lot of producers that know nothing, indeed. Very young me turning bass boost dial to 11. I mean, that's fine. That's fine. Like this song here, I didn't even mean to load up I think actually Reaper just defaults loads up whatever my last song that I was working on. This was not a serious song at all. I just felt like noodling with some synths. But coincidentally, I guess it's a good example because this is maybe a song that I want to apply some compression to in order to like change the dynamics of the song, to change the way that the sound profile is. It's not just about making sure I don't blow up people's equipment. It's also about making the song sound thick and fat, right? It's also very, very bassy. It's also why I have my little mini keyboard over here set up. Because my big keyboard doesn't have the fun little knobs to twist and turn. So anyways, so like here. Oh shit, that's right. It's going through fucking ASIO. It's going through the ASIO driver, which means you can't hear it. For fuck's sake. I think if I switch it to... How do I switch it? Audio, there we go. Device. If I switch it, it might fuck with my audio on stream. Well, let's find out what happens. We'll change it to Wasapi. We're all good here? Okay, you can still hear me? All right, cool. All right. Can we hear this? We can hear this? Okay, cool. All right, there we go. So we got some stuff. Oh, it's really anyways, I don't know. I was just fucking around with some knobs. Turn those knobs! Raw! You can see it down here. Anyways, sorry. Fucking around with stuff. But anyways, I was talking about compressors. So this is a very visual compressor. I would love to have something like this, and I think like Fmod has something like this built in. This is a pretty typical style graphic compressor. So you can see here's this line that's bouncing, the gray line. That's going to be like where your volume is at. That's the actual volume of the song. The red line is where it's going to start compressing at. And then this is how much gain reduction is being applied. So like as I move these knobs, this will change. There's also here, this to me is the most important one. This visualizer here, I usually don't need. However, seeing the gain reduction is kind of like the most important part. Which the NWJS compressor, obviously it's all done through text, so you don't have any sort of output there telling you the amount of gain reduction that's happening. So down here it's telling me that I have a minus 1.6 gain reduction. So we can change the RMS value to like 0.1. That's going to make it react faster. The attack is going to make it react way faster. I just turn the attack to like super fast usually. Maybe not that fast. And you can see that the gain reduction changes as I do that. And I can move the threshold way up here, and now there's basically no gain reduction being applied. Or I can move it way down here, and you can hear how that changes the feel of the song, right? So anyways, that was just to kind of demonstrate compressor. And why I was saying is I would love to have use Fmod simply for the fact of being able to visualize the gain reduction, because otherwise it's really hard to just kind of guess this shit. Invisible hand going on. Yeah. I like this little synth. I had constructed this synth. Massive is fun. I'd been listening to some really cyberpunky, hard-edged techno, genuine techno, right? Built very much with drum sequencers and stuff. And I really kind of wanted to just play around with that kind of stuff. So I just set this up real fast. It's fun. I kind of wanted to make it into a song, but I don't know what I'd do with it. But we got some knobs to turn. We make it scream! Wait, where's the scream? Make that son of a bitch scream! Anyways. Lots of fun. That was... Sorry. Music distraction. Back to the games. I still use Ray Comp. Yeah, it's fine. The Raya Tools plugins are really simple, really quite invisible kind of stuff. They're very good with... Don't have a lot of character to them, which is fine. I'm not saying that sounds like a bad thing, but if you just want to make an adjustment to something without adding too much character to it, then they're absolutely perfect for that. Very transparent effects. But I like for transparent compressing, I use M compressor there, which is what I just showed off. But then for a more old school kind of tube tube styles compression. I also have Big Blue compressor, which I use for adding a little bit more character whenever I do my compression. I've been FW Audio Tools. It's like an online collab DAW. Oh, fucking with Audio Tools. I like Reaper. I'm happy with it. Also, I just someone watches Techmoan, huh? Because Techmoan just put out a video about that today. I'm gonna have to remember to set Reaper back to ASIO. Because it's gonna still be on Wasapi whenever I open Reaper up again, and I'm gonna totally forget, and then I'm gonna wonder why there's a bunch of latency, and it'll be like, why is there like 200 milliseconds between when I push my keyboard and when the sound comes out? Anyways, next is Artifact Seeker. We can do this one quickly. Is this the old link? I think this is the old link. It is the old link because it goes nowhere. So as a reminder, Artifact Seeker, or as Raph had gloriously called it, Artifact Stinker, Artishart Stinker, Fartishart Stinker. The game, it was under a publisher, and we can't say 100% for sure who's at fault, but either way, the game got pulled because they were manipulating reviews. They basically got caught paying for review bots, which obviously you're not allowed to do on Steam. And so all of that publisher's games were completely removed from Steam. However, Artifact Stinker is not dead and gone. If you do search it, you will find Artifact Stinker Resurrection, which is just them publishing it, the developers publishing it by themselves independently. I have nothing to back this up, but I feel like when they filled out the the Steam page, they just didn't say that who their publisher was. They just said it was themselves, but I'm pretty sure the publisher is still there behind them. So yeah. Anyways, next, Dungeon Drafters. So Dungeon Drafters is actually on my wish list. I still haven't picked it up yet. Yeah, I actually liked this game, and it sort of began my my experience with Dangan Entertainment, who is the same publisher who is publishing Pry Into the Void, which of course we'll talk about later, but I'm pretty sure all of you guys know about Pry Into the Void. So, but anyways, this was my first experience with their games. And Dungeon Drafters was alright. It's kind of like grid-based, turn-based, tactical, not really RPG, with some like roguelike elements to it, deck building elements. But it's pretty cool. It's got like different characters that you can pick at each round, and each character has their own like specialization. They all feel pretty unique. Art's pretty good too. So I think I had a good time playing the demo for this one, and it did make it on my wish list, but I just still have not picked it up yet. So anyways, we'll put under it's P good. Dungeon Drafters. Yeah. I also just have a master chain, and it's just there with Ray Q and Ray Limiter. Yeah. Bot's supposed to work for free. They have families to feed too. Yeah. Dangan seems cool. It's the only publisher I heard good about. True that. I think there are other good... Ernest and I have talked about this. Of course, neither of us really have experience with this directly. He's only worked with one publisher. I've worked with none, obviously. But I think we did talk about this, and I think in the indie space, there's a lot of good indie publishers. you know, you have things like Devolver, apparently Big Mode, Dangan, I don't know. I'm not even that familiar with that many indie publishers, but those are definitely the big names. There's a few others that I can't think of, but I think when it comes to indie space is I think a lot of the indie publishers, the publishers that are just indie, for the record, there are like big name publishers who sometimes publish indie games. We're not talking about them, but the people who are actually in the business for publishing indie games, I think a lot of them are pretty good. I'm not here to endorse. Like, I'm not just saying, hey, go find an indie publisher and don't read the contract. Definitely, if anyone is looking into finding a publisher, 100% for sure, read your contracts, do some research about them before you sign anything. I know nothing about publishers, to be fair. Yeah. Dangan has a bit of a controversy with some devs under their publishing label. That may be the case, but at least, and from what I had heard from, you know, Ernest is pretty happy with how they've treated him, and yeah, I mean, Ernest is happy with them, how they pay him, how they treat him. So I think it depends on the person. I don't know, and maybe in the past there was a time, but they also could have moved past any past trouble. You know, companies make mistakes, definitely, but they can also change management and improve. So anyways, as I said, it doesn't matter who it is. What I just said about publishers, even if it's Dangan, you know, Ernest talks praise about it, and I feel like from what I've heard from him and the little bit I've read about it, it seems like it's a pretty good company. But once again, if anyone's looking into getting a publisher, it doesn't matter who it is, whether it's Dangan, someone I've talked about a lot, or anyone else, you should still read the contracts and do research before you sign anything. So, yeah. Anyways, next up, coincidentally, is Pry Into the Void. That's the dude that we're just talking about. So obviously this is Ernest's game, and he and I are friends. We became friends because of my experience with this game, which is funny because I didn't really enjoy it. It's just not my type of game. And if I'm being honest, the new direction he's taken it into being a much more cutthroat with its balancing. I'm not really a fan of, but I guess, I mean, it's nice to have the challenge, because if you can just breeze through every fight easily, that would get boring after a while. But I don't know. Every fight feels a little bit stressful, because it's like you fuck up and people are gonna die. So my categories here are pretty black and white, so literally, but also metaphorically. So it's like, I don't want to call it Concord bad. But it's also not a game that I would probably play. I will play it because it's my friend's game. That much is for sure. I will probably buy the game when it releases, and I will probably give it a fairer shake than I normally do for most games, because it's my friend's game and nepotism. But I don't know. If it was anyone else's game, I probably wouldn't give it much thought beyond that. So there we go. Pry Into the Void. We'll put it under It's P Good. Alright, and next we have Yuppie Psycho. This is not more Dangan? Oh, I thought this was Dangan. RFL is, though. Oh, but you know what? You know what got me into doing Dangan stuff? It was because of Raphael, which we haven't seen on the channel in a while. I'm sort of surprised. For this whole month, basically, he was basically sponsoring my channel, because he had actually bought a handful of games and gifted them to me. I think he wanted me to play the demo for RFL. He told me that RFL had a demo, but I couldn't find it. So I think he wound up actually buying it for me and gifting it. Yeah, I do have it. There it is. So yeah, he wound up buying it and just gifting it to me. So cool guy. I don't know where he's been. Hopefully he still watches these. Just, you know, doesn't join live, but maybe he still watches the archives. Anyways, and that's actually how he got me into Dangan, because RFL is published by Dangan. So in a weird way, I guess Raphael is the one who introduced me to Ernest. So thanks, Raphael. Ernest is a pretty cool guy. Thanks to you, I met him. Anyways, so because I couldn't play the RFL demo, I wound up just looking at some of the other Dangan published games. So that's how I got into Dungeon Drafters and Pry into the Void. But I think Yuppie Psycho was one of the other games he wanted me to try. Did he also gift it to me? That's the question. No, he did not. So it must have been a demo. But I think he wanted me to try it, and so I did. I think. Probably. My memory's a little bit fuzzy. This was back in May, so, you know, it's been a while, and this was post-Dead Dad, so post-Dead Dad, shortly, just, and also at a time when I was frustrated with Lady, so just before breakup with Lady happened, so memory's a little bit fuzzy. Man, it's been a hell of a year. 2024, hell of a year. Dead Dad, broke up with Lady. Anyways, so Yuppie Psycho, I've been talking a lot about RFL. We haven't even finished Yuppie Psycho. I remember the art. The art was really colorful. I don't remember anything else about this game. I think I was disappointed with it. I hated the name too, Yuppie Psycho. What a stupid name. But yeah, was not my type of game, I think. RFL was like another, I don't know, I think I remember it having nice art. Like the maps were really lush, yeah. I don't remember the combat at all. But I think it was a step up from your, you know, typical indie RPG Maker game, but not by much. I don't know. We're gonna put in, I don't remember. RFL. Where did she fall? She fell off. That's where she fell. Anyways. Next, we got Momodora, Reverie Under the Night or whatever. So actually I think this was a game that, Raphael had recommended I play as well, but coincidentally, I already owned it, and I never gave it a fair shake when I first purchased it back in 2016. It's funny, now that I think about it, this comes full circle. I think I purchased Momodora and Rabby Ribby at the same time, and they're both Metroidvania games, but I wound up enjoying Rabby Ribby way more and just started putting all of my game time into Rabby Ribby, and by the time I finished Rabby Ribby, I think I enjoyed Rabby Ribby so much, I even did the New Game Plus mode, and so, you know, I played through it basically twice, and by that time, I had completely forgotten about this game, and just never gave it another fair shake. But then, Raphael had recommended that I give it a try, and I was like, oh wait, I already own that game, and I tried it, and I think I remember enjoying it. I think it was a little bit harder than I would want out of this game. I don't really recall. Once again, I don't recall, and I guess that's just not a good sign for this game. I don't remember much about my experience with this game. I think I remember saying I would play more, but go figure, I never did. So I'm just gonna put it, I don't remember. Lost Ruin was another one. I remember complaining about the idle animation in this one. It was, I don't know, something about the idle animation was like, it was overly animated. it was something about it was just off-putting. Oh yeah, and I didn't like the airhead protagonist, which is sort of funny because, like, without any sort of nuance or context, that's literally my game. I have like an overly animated idle animation and a kind of an airhead protagonist, but I don't know, it's my game and there's nuance to it, so it's better. Anyways, I guess, I don't know, if you want fucking Fiddle in a Metroidvania game, then there's this one. There was some, excuse me, there was some, oh, I think this is another game that, because I'm pretty sure I own this game. I think this is another game that Raphael had, gave to me. Yep. It is, there it is. So, cool guy, once again, another gifted game. But anyways, this was another game, like, there was some interesting possibilities. There's, like, sort of an RPG mechanic to it, where you, like, pick up weapons and stuff. And the weapons had, like, their own, like, move sets that also had, like, utility. And I was wondering if, like, depending on your build that you had in the game... Oh, you can see the idol there. And, you know, what I think it is about this idol is that animation just feels too slow. It feels like a 3D animation with, like, too tweened, you know? I think that's the thing about it that bothered me. Anyways. Raphael single-handedly carrying all... Yeah, at least for the first half of the year, for sure. He was. For, like... Yeah, let's see. I think this is the last stream of Raphael's stuff. So there's this stream, that stream, and... the stream before that. So basically 3 streams were all funded by Raphael. So yeah. Anyways, Lost Ruin, I didn't play enough. So what I was saying is it had like some like RPG equipment system that had the potential of like integrating the like gearing system into the Metroidvania aspects of it. But I didn't play enough to find out if that is true or not. If it is true, that would be like actually a pretty cool spin on the Metroidvania genre and a cool blending of those two things, like RPG gearing but mixed with Metroidvania. But I didn't play enough to really find out. And I did want to go back once again and play more to find out, but I never did. So we'll just put it under, I don't remember either. Just like Momodora. What is it called? Lost Ruins. Jeez, what a forgettable name. Anyways, alright. So now we move out of the Raphael block. Moving into... Nope, wait, no, we're still in May. I thought we were moving into the second half of the year, but nope, not yet. Forever Home. Forever Home was going to be one of the games that I was going to give away last stream during my challenge run, but no one wanted it. Forever Home was actually a game that Ernest had recommended, and I played it for a little bit. Per his recommendation, he did even mention that it is like just very very RPG Maker. It is quintessential RPG Maker, but it knows what it is and it achieves it pretty well. So, and I thought it was okay. You know, it is still very RPG Maker, but it's like well balanced, well structured. It even has like some charming like animations. Like I think if I recall correctly, despite using pretty RTP styled sprites, there is actually custom animation work with them. They would actually emote and express themselves, which is, you know, pretty nice. And also it did have some custom elements, because this is where we joked about the dome, which was just like a 3D model that they had just exported a PNG of. And it looked really, really fucking silly. So, but anyways, it was it was an okay game. I wound up playing like another hour of it off stream. I had an okay time with it, but it wasn't really anything that I really looked forward to coming back to. I think that's just the thing, is like a lot of these classic RPGs, like even if this is like, you know, a well done RPG Maker game, it's obviously the RPG Maker framework and therefore very much structured around, you know, a very classic style JRPG. And it's just not a very appealing genre to me. So unfortunately, I just wasn't really that interested in coming back for more. So, but I thought it was actually okay. If we were using my new butt system, it would probably be Yimli. You might like it, but I personally did not. And before we mark that down, I gotta deal with the stuffy nose, the snotty, gross nose. Be right. I don't know, I've had like 3 fucking colds this year. It's amazing how many times I've gotten sick this year. Anyways, since we don't have like a Yimli thing on here, I'm gonna put it under It's P Good. What is it even called again? I don't even fucking remember. Forever Home. I didn't even see it, but it's Forever Home. Forever Home. There we go. Okay. Next is the Silent Kingdom. So, I did not enjoy this game. I do remember it. Slotty, who also does like YouTube videos, he'd recently played it for his YouTube videos, you know, YouTube RPG Maker videos, and he had a pretty good time with it. It's got beautiful art. I remember it had some pretty lovely soundscapes as well. Oh, there it is. I think. Maybe. When I had played it, actually, I'm pretty sure this is the new combat system. When I had played it, the combat was just a total letdown. When it had all this beautiful custom work done, and then the combat was like really bog standard attack, front view RPG Maker battles. However, I do know that somewhere along the way, someone in my Discord had actually informed me they had made the developer had made a post on Twitter announcing their revamped combat system, which I believe this is what this is here. Which looks really nice. I don't know how fun it is to play, but this looks pretty cool. I have hope for this game that it might be good. It was pretty chatty, I do believe. So I don't know if it's really a good streaming game, but anyways, but yeah, I look forward to this game. I'm rooting for it. I hope that it does better, but I didn't have a good time when I had played the demo back in May. I do have some concerns. I've just noticed that they're going to go into early access. What was this? Just probably a couple of streams ago. Obviously not counting the music stream, but I think the stream just before my winter break, I had talked about early access games or something, and like I really think RPGs are not really good for early access. Early access is really better for games that like sort of have an infinite game loop, you know, your survival crafting games that are not really strongly story focused, because RPGs especially tend to be very focused on story, and so once you've experienced a story, you know, there's very little reason to go back to it, at least go back to it so soon. Maybe after a year or so, you might want to replay it. But, I don't know. I feel like there's going to be a lot of people who just play it once and then bounce out. I feel like early access is a bad idea for this game. But if that's what they want to do, okay. For a game that I'm rooting for, though, I sort of wish that they wouldn't do that, because I feel like this is a bad decision, but I'll leave them to their own devices. Let's see what they have to say before we move on. As an indie solo dev, as is the case for many of us, early access will give me the chance to get feedback from players as I keep building the next chapter. Well, the thing is that you can still get that. Like, I gave you feedback, Slotty gave you feedback. You can do that without early access. Early access is just putting a price tag on it. It also helps me to work on the game more comfortably and have more fun with the process. Why? How, do you think you're going to be earning enough money to, like, do this full time? I don't know about that. You might, and I hope you do, but I wouldn't count on that, since developing a full game as a solo dev takes a long time and can be tiring. Being able to share my hard work is always enjoyable. Do that on Twitter. You've already done that on Twitter. That's how I found out about your combat update. And it gives me more energy to keep doing my best. They want feedback while getting money. Well, I hope they can. The other thing is, too, is that, like, you know, a lot of, because of the number of early access and crowdfunded games that wound up just never coming to, were either accidental scams because, you know, people got in over their head, or were legitimate scams and just realized that people are willing to throw money at cool ideas that have not much, you know, prestige behind them. I think a lot of trust has been burned with early access models, that I feel like, as a person who probably has no other games, there's not a lot of trust. And so I think there would be a lot of people who say, hey, that looks cool, I don't want to put my money into it yet until it's finished with early access. So yeah, I feel like I don't know what their following is on Twitter. Maybe they have a huge following. Maybe they're a fucking influencer, and so maybe they're gonna have like a huge audience that just comes in and just bankrolls them. I have no idea. That could be the case. But for most of us out there, that's not the case. And I feel like doing this is just going to harm the amount of potential income that you can get, because this is your first impression, and you're burning it on early access. Where a lot of people are not going to want to spend money yet. I would rather just hold off until you have a 1.0 release, and that would be your first impression. And you'd probably have more success that way. But anyways, that's just my opinion. And yeah, most don't buy early access games, at least not enough to live full-time on it for, yeah. See also Sunnyside. We're gonna get to them. Also, I've told indie devs, most will be like, you are rando dev. Yeah, why should we fund you? Yep. So anyways, I'm rooting for the Silent Kingdom. I remember it, but I didn't have a good time with it back when I had played it. Silent Kingdom. I'm not rooting for it enough to actually go and, like, tell the dev, like, you're doing this wrong. I'm gonna leave it. They know what they're doing. That's their decision. So, I don't know what their following is like online. Maybe they have. Anyways, I trust that they know what they're doing. But from what little bit I know, I feel like it's a bad decision. Hello, where's Zach? Nice to have you here. Okay, next is Sword Car. Speaking of another fun game, this game, I do remember, I found it through another YouTube video. It had such a ridiculous concept. I like this concept. Unfortunately, the execution is not great. It is in early access. And hopefully they will be able to, like, solidify their identity with this game, because it sort of had like conflicting ideas of sometimes wanting to be like hard as nails, Dark Souls like kind of game, but then sometimes it just wanted to be complete power fantasy and be like a Dynasty Warriors game where you're just like doing cool dumb shit, killing tons of dudes, and like it didn't execute well on either. I really would hope that the direction they take this in is bringing it more towards like the Dynasty Warriors, kind of just like power fantasy. I feel like that would fit this dumb idea way more of being a car with a sword strapped to it. I had fun, but it needs a lot of work. They haven't updated it since October. So, you know, it's not that, when was it? October 1st? Okay. So, I don't know. I want this game to be good, but I'm not feeling too confident about that early access, that thing that we were just talking about. Anyways, I'm gonna put it under, I want to put it under Concord right now. It has the potential to be good, but in its current state, whatever state I played in, whatever state I remember it being in, it's not good. It's weird because I had fun, but it was like jank fun. It was fun for the stream. It's not something I would come back to until it has way more updates under it. The Lost. I don't even remember this, and we're never gonna find it. I don't have a link for it. I don't have a link for it. The Lost is such a simple name that I can't Google search that. Maybe we can bring it up in the stream. Here's Sword Car. Maybe we can bring it. I don't remember this game at all. What is this game? Anyone ring it? Any bells ringing here? That's Dutch Power Creations game. I don't know who that is. None of this is ringing a bell. Is it so dark? Did I have like a filter on? What's going on here? I guess he had his tint screen. Well, it looks really jank. It looks like I just set the opacity for the screen to like 50%. You remember that one? I don't remember this one. It's a guy in the community. He probably sent it to me. I don't remember it. The Lost. Sorry. Sorry if you watch my streams. I don't fucking remember your game. Okay, anyways. Had some cool ideas, was major laggy and jank though. It's been scrapped for a new project that's like a Fire Emblem type tactics game. Okay, right on. At Week's End, I do remember this one. I like the art. Yeah. Standard Enemy. I haven't seen him on Arm Web in a while now that I think about it. Oh, he's got the foot. I forgot about that. The foot sucks. Man, it's too bad it's like typical roguelike stuff. This is a game I really want to like. But it has like a lot of the typical roguelike trappings that I personally don't like. You know, like shit doesn't get explained very well. It's very much like, we're not going to explain anything. You're going to have to figure it out on your own. You know, it's all shit that I've complained about a lot. The first boss is like total complete bullshit where it's like, it's built that way. You have to like, you know, you got to wipe on each boss each time so you can learn it. So that way you can face it the next time. So you know how to beat it. You know, I don't know. No one getting excited about feet again. Hell yeah, bro. Anyways, I don't know. It has all the typical roguelike trappings to it, but God, the art is pretty cool. The fucking mighty foot kicking open the door. You know, it's all pretty silly, and I like it, but I don't know, the roguelike trappings. Where do we put it? Where does that land it? I think it falls on the same kind of place as Silent Kingdom, where it's a game that I'm rooting for, but in the state that I played it, I didn't particularly enjoy it at week's end. So, judging it based on the state that I remember playing it in, it's Concord. Next, hey, this was Tridium's recommendation, Nightmare Cart. I didn't understand this. I didn't get it at all. I'm not a Bloodborne player. I'm not much of a Souls game player. So I didn't get it. Like the karting was fun, and then there's a weird boss fight, which I don't know. It was goofy, like that's for sure. It was unexpected. I'll give them credit where it's due. Like, you know, for a game that I thought was just gonna be a Mario Kart clone, that came out of left field. Did I enjoy it? No, not really. The most fun was just the ridiculousness of it, but it wasn't really a particularly fun fight. That's fair. The dev has been updating it a bit since I played it. Cool. It's still very much like, if you like Bloodborne and you like Mario Kart, you might like this. I like Mario Kart. I've never played Bloodborne. And I don't really like Souls-like games at all, so yeah. I don't know. I'm also kind of I'm really over the it's a PlayStation 1 graphics cause nostalgia. Haha. I mean, I kind of get why it's done. All right, I just said my hot take, so now I gotta defend myself. Look, I understand why it's used, and I would probably do the same as well. It's much easier to 3D model low res texture. Well, it's much easier to model these low polygonal, low detail models and also apply low res textures to them than it is to make, you know, like high fidelity things. So I understand why it gets used a lot, but you know, I'm really not one for like nostalgia baiting. I really hate nostalgia, to be honest. It's a blight on our world that too many people just try to find comfort in nostalgia instead of trying to make the world a better place. They'd rather look back. Anyways. Oh, I didn't even put it on here. I didn't enjoy it. So we're gonna need a little more space than that. Nightmare Cart. There we go. PS1 shit with VHS filters is like the next step up from pixel art. Yeah. It's funny though, I remember actually, speaking of my hot take on PS1 graphics, so for actually, okay, no, I'm interrupting. Hang on, I have 2 points about this. I have 2 points. So first of all, I remember when I was much younger, young adult, you know, when indie games were really starting to blow up. I do remember having kind of a similar take on pixel art. I really got sick of like the NES retro vibe pixel art that became very popular. NES and then eventually SNES. As a game developer who's now using pixel art, first of all, I've cooled off on that take, and I will probably eventually cool off on my PS1 take as well. But also, I understand it now, because even as someone who's not a skilled artist, with a little bit of faffing about in Photoshop, I can get something that's convincing enough in pixel art, because we have less detail to work with, less resolution. It's easier to make something kind of fugly that just vaguely sells the idea of what you're trying to illustrate rather than having to render it like well. So I understand the value of pixel art. It's more just when it's done simply for the sake of nostalgia is where it usually rubs me the wrong way. Which brings me to my second point, is that it's so weird that a lot of the nostalgia bait games that come out now are like PS1 styled, but we don't get a lot of like N64 styled, you know, low poly stuff. The N64 had, first of all, the PS1 had like a weird problem with its like a weird rounding error with its vertexes, which is how it gave like the weird kind of warping and shimmering to like a geometry. And so, you know, that's very distinct to the PS1. It also, there's, I don't even fully know this. I had heard this somewhere, so I don't know the full technical things behind it, but because of how CDs loaded textures, it would basically, the textures would wind up looking more pixelated, while because of the N64's like cartridge-based stuff, textures would wind up kind of having more of a smudgy, kind of smeary effect. And they could do more pixelated stuff too. It's just that I think developers opted for the more smeary effect because they were able to do that, because cartridges were able to take advantage of it. I don't remember the full technicals behind it, but basically, if you think of like, if you look back at like some of the N64 Ocarina of Time, you'd see like some pretty smudgy, kind of smeary textures, and that was just because of the cartridge. Anyways, you know, you don't see a lot of people who, I bring that up because you just don't see a lot of people trying to emulate that style. Because N64 style would mean their art would require character and art direction rather than just a PS. It's true that PS1 can't do decimal numbers. N64 had less storage. Yeah. So, anyways, yeah, there's my take. I understand the reason why people use pixel art, why people use low poly stuff. I don't mind that being used because it's easier to make and it's faster to make as well. And when you are a solo indie dev, you know, all that time's adding up. When you have to do everything by yourself. But I just don't like when this stuff is simply used for nostalgia reasons, you know? Anyways, I think we've harped on that enough. Moving on. So this stream here, our June stream, there's only one game. I'm living that low poly pixel art life. Hell yeah, brother. There's only one game in the stream, but actually this stream had two games. I guess I just hated the other game so much that I just didn't put it on this list at all. We'll talk about that other game, but first we have Anotria. This was... excuse me. This was interesting. I had picked this game up. I'm gonna sound like a little bit of a hipster, but this is before the game got big. This game was announced without much fanfare at the Key 3 event, the Summer Games event. And you know, I thought it was so weird because I kind of liked the vibe of their trailer. It was a CG trailer, but they had a demo available for the game, which is funny. It looks like they took down the demo. Interesting. Anyways, they had a demo available right after Key 3. And I thought it was so weird because all of the like gaming people that I'm subscribed to on YouTube who are doing their regular recaps of Key 3 didn't talk about this game at all. And I was like, I don't know, it's got kind of a cool vibe to it, so I decided to check it out. We played it on stream. It was aight. You know, I like I like that they explored Italian like folklore and stuff. I think that's really cool. I always love when games like explore their culture. Which is, I just realized the next game that I want to talk about, I wish they had done that instead. But anyways, so I thought it was a cool concept. Just it was just another Souls-like that didn't feel like it was really doing that much unique. Boy, it's so funny because this game wound up blowing up later on. It wound up getting a lot of press coverage because they had made a post on Twitter saying that, sorry, Xbox fans, our game's not coming there because we can't get an answer from Mr. Phil Spencer himself. Well, not literally, but like they were trying to talk to whoever their contact is at Xbox about publishing on the platform, and apparently this is just a problem with a lot of developers on Xbox, is that Xbox just doesn't reply to their emails. And then that wound up getting like a lot of traction, and this game wound up blowing up, and then all of a sudden, because people started paying attention to this game, it started getting played more, and then it turned out to be pretty mid, as you can see here. It's got a mixed 66% for user reviews on Steam, so too bad. It was on my wish list. There was some cool possible build crafting in it, but after watching an cut down playthrough of the game, I wasn't really sold on it. I feel like it didn't really explore the potential of its build crafting very well. So, and then mix that with the like really damage spongy enemies and apparently very heavily recycled bosses. And just not being much of a Souls fan myself, I was really kind of hoping that it would be a pretty good entry point for Souls games, but not really. So, yeah, it turned out to be pretty mid. Too bad. So, it got removed from my wish list. I have no desire to play it. Enotria. Xbox already has games. It doesn't need any more. Xbox employee, probably. Yeah, okay, so the other game is not on here. BG kind of already spoiled it. In this same stream, we played a game called Sunnyside. Here it is. I don't want to talk. Oh, boy, that's new. All right. I don't want to talk too in depth about this because I think next stream I've done some journalism. I've done the journalism and done a little research on this topic, and I want to just dedicate a full stream talking about this game. Boy, I really want to talk about it now. Let's just say the developers have done an oopsie. So I want to talk about it, but next time. Anyways, this game was just a cozy game that was like a farming simulator with an anime aesthetic. I wasn't very fair to this game because I was just maybe a little bit too, from what I remember from the stream. I didn't rewatch my stream. I really probably should. But from what I remember, I think I was really honed in on the fact that this is clearly stated that it's set in Japan. And this really bothered me. Probably more than it should have. I still think it's a stupid decision. This was like a really dumb decision to set it in Japan because it really didn't feel like Japan other than a weeb's view of Japan. It didn't really feel like it needed to be Japan for any reason at all. It was just set there because, oh my god, Japan is so cool. God, I wish I lived there. Oh my god, all my favorite animes. Oh my god, stupid shit like that. Anyways, I was just talking about, this is one of the points that I'm going to hit on next week, but it's just more of a brief aside, so I don't mind saying it here. The lead developer Sea of Ash. That's not me saying Sea of Ash. That his name is, it's all one word. Siavash. Sea of Ash. Interesting name, huh? That's his real name. Do you know why? Because he comes from the Persian Gulf. His mother is from Iran. And I'm sitting here thinking, like, boy, you come from a culture that is not as represented in video games. Boy, wouldn't it be cool to set a fucking game that explores the culture that you came from instead of some culture that you don't live in and you have no involvement with other than anime? What a fucking missed opportunity, gosh. That's something I want to talk about, but it's so baffling to me. They're making no, we're gonna talk about this next week. We're not gonna go into this. Anyways, I don't know what this developer's obsession is with Japan when they have cool life experiences that they can draw on. Why are they drawing? Why do they do this? They could make such a cool game exploring cool personal experience, cool culture and folklore from something that a lot of the Western world doesn't get to experience often. And they don't do it, but instead they just go for fucking weeb shit. Anyways. I didn't like this game. And obviously, people are not liking it now either because, as I said, the developers might have done a little bit of an oopsie. And because of that oopsie, I kind of started doing a little bit of research into it. We'll talk about it next week. That's the plan for next week. But for today, this is 100% for sure a Concord. In fact, what I want to do is I want to keep Deepest Regret up there, but, oh gosh, it's so hard to move these now. There's so many of these. Where's Mimic Mac? There it is. We're gonna just put this down here. Now I wanna move Sunnyside up there. There we go. I really should just like enable the like click layer to like click on the object to enable the layer or whatever. I turn that off because it annoys me when I'm editing, but like right now, that would probably be pretty useful. Okay, anyways, Evil Plays Dice. This game was a lot of fun, but not how the developer intended. It was a very serious kind of like CRPG kind of game, but the writing was so bad. It took itself way too seriously. Like it's sort of the same kind of vibe as like watching The Room or something, where it's a game that's, well, The Room is a movie, but anyways, where it's taking itself way too seriously, but it's so bad that it just kind of comes back around on itself and becomes funny. I had a lot of fun with its really terrible fucking writing, but the game itself was not good. Not good at all. What is it? Devil Plays Dice? Okay. Prelude for a Dream. Oh gosh, my drink is empty. That's a bummer. Damn. Well, alright. I'll get another drink later. Anyways, Prelude for a Dream. I don't even have a link for it. I could probably actually search this one, but I'm not going to. I do remember this one. Barely. It took me a while to remember it. I had to narrow it down. But, this is... it's this one here. I think. There's Evil Plays Dice. Yeah, here's Prelude for a Dream. This was just like nonsense, like RTP, like my first game kind of shit. It's not good. Yeah. Yep, that's it. I already forgot what it's called. What is it called again? Prelude for a Dream. We'll just call it Prelude for Dream. There we go. Who cares? That's totally fine. Alright. Next we have Raji, an ancient epic. Look, this is just what I was saying. Raji is based on Indian folklore, like India. And it was, you know, that was pretty captivating to me. I had purchased this myself. It had been on my wish list for a very, very long time, and I had finally picked it up. I picked it up during the summer sale, I do believe. Looking forward to finally play this game because it's pretty cool. It's set in India. Would love to hear a story based out of this culture. But actually, I never played more after this stream. I kept it installed on my computer for... I think I probably deleted it maybe just last month. I finally just removed it. I was finally like, I don't think I'm ever going to get around to playing this. It's too bad. It has a cool concept. It has like this acrobatic style, like, action combat system. Like it's not quite up to like Devil May Cry levels of like combos and stylish combat, but it kind of reminds me of maybe like the early God of War games. Not like Dad of War, but you know, God of War 1 and 2, kind of that stuff. It still has some pretty flashy combat, but the combos are much more simplified compared to Devil May Cry. So it kind of reminded me of that, and it had like some acrobatics to it as well, which I thought was pretty cool. But it all felt a little bit jank, which was probably the most off-putting part to it. I think it was also surprisingly a little bit difficult. I think I remember the enemies being kind of damage spongy, and they would hit pretty hard as well, I think. So yeah, anyways, I just wound up never playing it. Unfortunately, because of... I don't want to call it bad, and I do remember it, so... I guess this is the only choice. Raji. And somehow Arcane Rays is still around, even though the other game from the dev got nuked. I don't know what you're talking about. Are you talking about Prelude for a Dream? Do we need to look this up? Prelude for a Dream. No, that's still there. Oh. Oh boy, he's got another game. Wait, what is this? That doesn't look like RPG Maker, though. Okay, what? Okay, that... It's definitely some sort of asset. This is clearly another, like, RPG Maker-like engine that he's used for this. Other game from a different... Okay. From a different dev. I wonder what engine he used for this. Does it say? I don't know why he would say what engine it is, but... Bacon? Maybe. I thought Bacon had, like, lots of bloom and, like, bokeh camera effects on it. Kind of trying to emulate the... This looks a little bit dry. Like, there's not a lot of post-processing going on to the 3D image. I thought Bacon had like lots of post-processing going on in the image. Yeah, like see, this is like it's got like depth of field with bokeh effect. I mean, you can maybe turn it off in the engine. Smile game builder. Okay. Interesting. All right, well, anyways, we'll move on. Did I already put Raji there? Yeah, I did. Okay, next is Grave Danger. This was a YouTuber's game, Jack Sather. So I liked Jack Sather's YouTube videos. He did a lot of game reviews on game releases. But then he wanted to get into game development, and he made this game. This was his first game in game development, and I think for a first game, it's pretty cool. I think it was the right move, right? It's pretty low scope, very basic, but I mean, just for learning a game, that's the right thing to do. There's too many fucking people who just like want to make their dream game right away. He approached this from the right angle. Very small scope, very simple game, very basic. I think that's really cool. I will say, I'm pretty disappointed that he's basically now converted his channel into like a game dev channel. When I had originally found him as a guy who talked about video games. It's cool that he wants to do game dev. That's not why I have subscribed to him. I subscribed to him because I wanted to hear his opinions about games. I didn't subscribe to him to watch him do game dev. I hope that maybe one day he returns to doing game dev, or not game dev, game review stuff. We'll have to see. So I guess my biggest disappointment with this game is simply that it's made him take his channel in a different direction, and I think it hasn't really paid off for him either. If I recall correctly, looking at his views, I don't think I'm the only one who has those same opinions, because I think I remember a lot of his game dev stuff not getting as many views. So I'm sure he's aware of that fact, but I guess he just enjoys doing his game dev stuff so much that he doesn't mind losing those views. Maybe. Let's see. Oh, he actually... Okay. He did do a couple of videos, but I actually didn't give a shit about these. My bad. But yeah, you can see here, he has 178,000 views on his game-making process in Blender. While over here, his other game reviews have basically twice that. So game dev gets half the amount of views. I think it's failure of Star Wars Outlaws came out well past that drama had blown over, so I didn't give a shit about this video. I also don't care about Deadlock either, so I didn't watch that. So I guess that's why my feelings have been that he's just become a game dev channel. But my feelings are wrong. It's just that the other games that he's done that he's talked about are games that I just don't care about. So yeah. Anyways, unfounded opinion, my bad. But I don't enjoy his game dev stuff. Cool that he wants to get into game dev, though. Honorable mention to Orange Pixel. He makes quite a lot of games for many platforms. Very nice. Grave Danger. It's also a good name. Grave Danger is pretty good. It's free. And, you know, you can finish it within maybe half an hour, maybe even less. Just depends on how much you care. Yeah, anyways, it's pretty good. 2-Bit Explorer, I do remember this game. I remember this game putting me to sleep. It's sort of like a Zelda game. It's got like Zelda style exploration. But I don't know, it was just incredibly dull. I don't know. I remember like nearly falling asleep on stream playing this game. It was just too bit boring. There we go. Or maybe it'd be better if it's too boring explorer, too boring explorer. There we go. Yeah, that one was bad. Next is The Dawning Clocks of Time. This was like, I don't know, some guy's Doctor Who fanfiction, but without, you know, getting into licensing trouble. It was also not good. I don't have a link for it. I don't feel like bringing up the stream. It was pretty bad. We're just gonna, yeah. Dawning Clocks of Doctor Who. Alright, we're just gonna move on. Excaliburian. I vaguely remember. We need to look this one up, though. I remember the name. Where's Steam? Please give me Steam. Excaliburian. Doctor Who-like game without the essence of the Doctor. I'm shocked. Shocked, I tell you. Oh, I think this game had like a lot of back and forth. It was like, talk to this queen, now talk to the king, now talk to that queen, now talk to the king again, now talk to that peasant or whatever. I swear there was something that, I think it had some charming writing. Gosh, I don't remember. I'm sorry. It's just, I don't remember. That's what it is. I remember the name and that's it. Excaliburian. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, next, Illusion Carnival. I do remember this one. This was just like Digital Circus, right? And I think I remember really hating this one because it was like all art and just otherwise really bad gameplay. Like, the art is cool. Like, this is a pretty expressive character. I like that. I kind of like the main character's design with the little paper hat. She's actually folded out of paper. That's cool. But, yeah, this was not a good game. I remember having a pretty bad time with this game. Yeah, we're gonna put it here. Digital Carnival. Carnival. There we go. Oh, no. Shh. We don't need that here. Ooh, Kunitsugami! We got to talk about a good game. Yeah! Kunitsugami was like a Capcom experiment. It was made by their A-team, actually. But they just wanted to try something wacky and weird. This is like something that feels like they would come out of like early 360 PS2 era. Kunitsugami, Path of the Goddess. It's like sort of a weird hybrid tower defense 3D action game. And very heavily based in Japanese folklore. And it's super cool. It's very much like a celebration of Japanese culture. And it was all of that Japanese culture stuff that was just really, really cool about this game. I wound up, I played the demo on stream, but shortly after I played the demo, I did actually purchase it at full price too, and played and beat it. Now, I will say, it's not perfect all the way through. It really, so I will, so there's, so it one thing I will give it credit for is that basically through the entire game, I think there's like 20 levels, maybe more than that. It always seems to be throwing new curveballs at you. I will give them credit. There's always like new enemies, new ideas, new stuff going through the whole game. So it's like every level has something fresh in it. But there's still something about you get like very limited upgrades to your main guy, and your main guy that you control. I don't know, the combat always felt a little bit stiff. And then you're relying on your towers, which are just like ploppable NPCs. Here you can kind of see, you can like summon them, and then does it show you placing them? You can see them here. And you know, you start relying on them, and you can like upgrade them like a progression tree, like a permanent upgrade, not just like for the level. But it never really feels like it makes that big of a difference. Like, they're throwing new enemies and stuff at you, but it still kind of always feels a little bit the same, even at the very end. So I don't know. I really like the idea. I really like the game. I like that it's just sort of a celebration of Japanese culture, and man, it's got some really good music. It's just such a beautiful game. But as far as playing the game, yeah, by the end of the game, I was really having to push myself to finish it, you know? So I do like it. It's definitely falls under it's P good. I really wish they had the kind of split between like character action fused with tower defense. I don't know. I feel like they needed to tighten things up here. It felt like both halves of that were pretty weak. Like on the one hand, like I was glad you didn't have to micromanage your troops very much. You can if you wanted to. And I think that was actually one of the problems. I don't know. See, that's the thing. Like there are some bosses where it just got annoying. You'd really have to micromanage your troops. And that got annoying. But then there, like during your regular stages without a boss, like you didn't really need to micromanage your troops that much. You just set them up where you think is most effective. Like it'll show you on the minimap where the enemies are going to spawn, and then you just set your troops where you need them to defend, and then you just leave them there, and then it's up to yourself to just do. You wind up doing the like heavy lifting for the most part, and I think that sort of sucks. Because, you know, it's like your troops feel kind of pointless. They're just there to, like, body block the enemy until you can get over there and deal with them a lot of the time. And then for your own combat, like, you had different combos that you could unlock, and there's different upgrades, like, like permanent progressions that you can make, new skills and whatever that you can unlock for your character. But I don't know, your main guy's combat still always felt a little bit stiff to me. And so it just never felt very good. You moved really slow, so it felt like I couldn't get where I wanted to go fast enough. So I don't know. I hope they give it another try. There's a lot they can improve on it to make it feel better. So I hope they'll give Kunitsugami another try, maybe a sequel, or it doesn't even have to be a sequel in the franchise, but just that idea of like character action mixed with the tower defense kind of thing. I hope they'll give it another try and really iron out a lot of the wrinkles, because I think there are a lot of wrinkles with it. But overall, it was a cool game. Kunitsugami. There we go. And that was the end of the old butt sheet here. We can move over to the new butt sheet. And we have a few more to go on this list. Since my drink is done and we've already been at this for 2.5 hours, I think I just kind of want to just blast through these, you know? Let's just blast through these. So isekaiing is like the just AI slop game. It's bad. It's bad. There's that. Dungeon Rummage. Oh, that's the other AI slop game. It's also bad. Dungeon Rummage. I'm joking. Dungeon Rummage was alright. It's pretty good. I think Orc said he developed it over just a few months, maybe even just 1 month. I don't know. It's got a solid framework. It's just not his best work, but it's all right. RZ was another Yimli, right? Yeah, I didn't enjoy it, but it had potential. Yeah, RZ was the like CDI game. It was like pretending to be 2 weeks. Wow, even less than a month. RZ was the CDI, pretending to be Zelda CDI game, which I don't know why anyone would like want to remake that. It had like warts and all, and I don't know. It was. No, I'm having some flashbacks to some of the game design, and I just really didn't like it. I just really did not enjoy it. Yeah. Astral Outcast, that was 20 Free, I think his developer's name. That's the developer's name, 20 Free. And he had like a space survival crafting game. I had a lot of frustrations with some of the UX in this game. I thought it was fine. It needed more work. It's still in development, so obviously it needs more work. But I guess just like Silent Kingdom and Sword Car at Week's End, these are games that may become fun in the future, but from the state that I remember playing them in, that's what I'm grading it on, and I didn't like it in its current state. So, anyways, sorry to put it under Concord, but yeah, that's where it's gonna go, just because I'm grading it based on the state. Which goes, oh, hey, for On a Journey as well. This game it has cool art. The demo didn't really give much. I remember it didn't give me much to like make a judgment on it. What am I trying to do here? Where is it? There we go. Didn't really give me much to like really form an opinion on. It has cool art, and I also remember it having terrible fucking frame rate. So yeah. Also, I remember the mom being really fucking hot. She's busty, hot mom. So yeah, but again, just like Astral Outcast, Silent Kingdom, at Week's End, I have to judge it based on what I played, and yep. On a hot mom. There we go. Next we have Divine Dynamo Flame Frit. That's funny. This is like this last quarter of the year is like the. Well, I guess it's really only these two, but there's like 2 games that I came across. They're just games like, I don't know, that looks interesting, and then I picked it up, and then it turns out to be part of like some, I don't know, group that has like a cult following. Divine Dynamo Flame Frit was what? Who's the developer? The developer apparently has like quite the following. Divine Dynamo Flame Frit. Inti Creates, yeah, and apparently this was started as like an April Fool's joke. As a free game inside of one of their other main games. I didn't know that when I picked it up. Concord has a big harem. Hell yeah, I played a lot of garbage. Anyways, the boss fights were interesting, if not a bit intense. But I think that was probably the best part, and then that's really it. The rest of it was really dull. So, Divine Dynamo. There we go. Next we have Damn Champions. I think we all remember Damn Champions, right? We all remember Damn Champions. It's the totally not Pokemon. Damn Champion. Oh, it's Damn Champion. Yeah. It was not a very good game. This was this dude's like first game, and it clearly showed. I would actually probably play Concord over this one, to be honest. Damn Champion. There we are. Damn Champs. Brave Village. Wait, can I pull this up? Hang on. Hang on. So, Brave Village is sort of funny. Here we go. Here's my 2024 Steam replay. Right? So this is from like until the middle of December, which is pertinent because I have another game that yeah, there's another game that didn't get counted in this. But my most played game was fucking Brave Village, and this is not because it's that good of a game. It's all right. It's like really, it's got some really janky UX stuff, and it's really more of just an idle game. What it wound up being my most played simply because y'all talked me into just leaving it running and then checking on it the next week. So literally for a whole week, I just had it running in the background. And as a result, it totally skewed my fucking Steam replay as like my most played game, which is total horseshit. You love that, Brandon. I don't. Look, you can even tell because I only had 9 play sessions, right? So most of that time was just leaving it on in the back. Like, what was that? What is that? Okay, let's get a calculator open. I think it was like 120 hours by 9. Look, each play session was 13.3 hours long. Come on. All right. So like this is probably more normal. Final Fantasy being an MMO, of course you wind up clocking in more time. So you know, and it had 38 play sessions. Final Fantasy 14, I'm very sorry to all of my Final Fantasy 14 players out there, especially my artist, Somon. My artist is absolutely in love with Final Fantasy 14. She spends more time playing Final Fantasy 14 than doing my commissions. So, anyways, she's the one that talked me into giving it a try, and I'm very sorry to her. But this game fucking sucks. It is so boring, man. Well, I mean, it has like 8 more play sessions than most of the other. That's for sure. Most of these other games got 1 play session, which was on stream. Like all of this shit is pretty skewed. Because I use my Steam account for streaming. But these 2 games here are genuine. I did play Final Fantasy Online. Somon had talked me into giving it a try, and I did. I gave it a fair shake and did not enjoy it. And Steel Rising, I actually enjoyed Steel Rising. It is a Souls-like. It's much easier, so therefore it's much more approachable. It's janky. It's janky, and the story is really boring. If you like a bunch of white dudes in wigs talking about I don't know, revolution or something, then I guess this is your jam. But they never show the revolution. It's just white dudes in wigs talking about revolution. So that's pretty dull. But the gameplay itself was pretty fun. I enjoyed it, despite all of its jank. So it's probably one of the only Souls-like games that I've actually seen through to the end. So anyways, look, wow, 42% of my games I played were new releases, except all of those new releases were probably fucking games for this stream. So we got Memorpaga, because of course I played a lot of time in Final Fantasy 14. I feel like if you take Final Fantasy 14 and Brave Village out of this, I think the numbers would fare a little bit better. Oh wow, my most played game is fucking Brave Village. And look, all here in November with an 8-day streak. Here we go. Final Fantasy 14, Steel Rising, Borderlands 3. Yeah, I played a little bit back at the beginning of the year. Really like Borderlands, especially Borderlands 3. Borderlands 3 is fun. Story sucks, but gameplay is rock solid. I feel like it's a running theme for today. There's been so many games I've talked about that are just like, it's a good game, but the story sucks. Can't wait for Borderlands 4, where we'll get to experience another god-awful story, but great gameplay. Prey, I'm honestly kind of surprised this isn't higher up there. I really enjoyed Prey. You know, it's funny because when it came out, I remember a lot of people talking like they were really disappointed with this game, and I guess I just let those reviews get to me. You know, a lot of people were disappointed because it used the Prey name. A lot of people thought it was going to be a sequel to PlayStation 2 franchise. I think that was, well, Gen 6 game, not just PlayStation 2. It was on the PC. I thought a lot of people thought it was going to be a sequel to that game, but they only used the name, but is otherwise not. And yeah, anyways, but it's basically BioShock in space, and when I learned about that, I was way more interested in it, and played it, and yeah, it's BioShock in space, and I love BioShock. I had a really great time with this game. November. Fucking Brave Village right there. Super cool. Here are the games that I played with a controller. Yeah, I played Final Fantasy 14 with a controller. Felt more comfortable that way. Kunitsugami. Played Wayfinder. I didn't talk about that. You know what? 9 Years of Shadows is on here. Oh, but I think I played that right at the end of 2023. What is let's consult the chart. Nope, that's the wrong thing. Consult the chart. Where's 9 years? Oh yeah, it was the end of 2023. Okay, all right. 9 Years of Shadows was all right. It was an okay game. Pixel art was really beautiful. But yeah. Anyways, that's not this year, so who cares? Here's all the demos I played. A lot of this is looking like shit for the stream. My longest streak, yeah, is because I was streaming and then playing stuff. I replayed Half-Life 2 for like the first time in years, man. The documentary that came out on Half-Life 2's development, or the documentary came out for Half-Life 2 development, and I rewatched that, and I had kind of already been wanting to replay it, but then after watching that, I was like, oh yeah, now's the time. Really like Half-Life 2. It's really good. There's some stuff that has not aged very well. The jumping in the game is like really not reliable for the amount of jumping you have to do in that game. But otherwise, story and shooting all feels really great. There are rumors that they are working on something Half-Life related, and it might be Half-Life 3. Maybe. So, anyways, yeah. And then all the games, you can see when I played them by month. There we go. January, finished up 9 Years of Shadows, played Borderlands 3. Actually, Final Fantasy 10 and 10-2, that was actually Lady. My lady wanted to give it a try, so she played it. And then all this stuff. Oh, Proteus was actually something that I played. I think that was another 2023 game that carried over into 2024 though. Anyways, but all of these are stream games. Command & Conquer, actually I picked that one up. I'm not a big RTS person. It was okay. More Borderlands, Wind Rider. Oh boy, Wind Rider. Oh yeah, I played Saints Row the Third. I enjoyed Saints Row 4, but I never played any of the previous ones, so I gave Saints Row the Third a try. It's alright. It's really janky, but it's alright. And then we have more stream stuff. stream stuff. I didn't play anything this month. Apparently, April, I didn't play anything except for stream stuff. May too. Yeah, May is just all stream stuff as well. You know, during this time, so I know what happened here. And if you look back at my this chart back here, like if you look, basically starting from April, it picks up a little bit in June and July, but really from August, like this part here, there's basically nothing going on, and that's because I was just like locked in on doing game dev because I was preparing for the playtest for my game. And basically once I finished, I wish it would show software usage time in here, because I would be interested to see how much RPG Maker got used during these months. And then basically after August, it just completely falls off. During my winter break, I've done way more game dev than I have in like the past like 3 months. But man, I burnt myself out. It's you know, it's so unfulfilling too. You know, I worked my ass off for like basically the first half of this year, just fucking locked in on doing game dev, right? To get this playtest out, and then, you know, I released the playtest, and I mean, I'm not blaming anyone for this, but you know, it sucks so bad. You spend like these 6 months just locked in, sacrificing like all of this like gameplay time, all this fun time. It makes it sound so bad, but anyways, you get what I mean. Just focused on strictly on this one thing, and then you release it, and then everyone's like, yeah, I don't know, this kind of sucks. And it's just like, well, that knocked the wind out of me. All right. So then basically, you know, I pretty much took a break in August. I had already planned that. My plan was just like to release the playtest, take a break in August, and then get back to things in September. It didn't really pan out that way. That really knocked the wind out of me on that. And so basically September, October, November, really most of December too, to be honest, I didn't really do that much game dev stuff. I kind of started picking up a little bit in November, but like, I mean, it really was a little bit. Once I had found Mac to help me do some plugin stuff, you know, I kind of needed to do game dev stuff because I had to test out the plugins that he was making for me. So it kind of got me to open up the software again and do a little bit. But really, I hadn't like sat down and done like, you know, multi-hour long game dev sessions until really my winter break these past couple of weeks. I finally actually have done some like legit game dev stuff. So I've made some pretty good progress. So anyways, but yeah, you can kind of see that reflected here, where basically the only stuff that I was playing during this time was stuff for the streams. Like here, I remember actually, so I was playing Steel Rising during this time, but I remember it took me, it's like a 20-hour game, and it took me like 2 months to finish. Yeah, you can see it carries over into July. It took me like 2 months to finish Steel Rising because once again, I was just so locked in on game dev that the amount of hours that I would dedicate to playing Steel Rising was spread out so far, you know, maybe an hour or two a week. So anyways, here we go. Oh, Kunitsugami, I started playing a little bit of Kunitsugami. I think I finished Steel Rising here. And so Kunitsugami kind of fell into the same place, where it's like maybe just 1 or 2 hours a week of gameplay. But yeah, mostly everything else. Oh, did I start playing Prey? Oh, this is August. Okay, yeah. So I had published the playtest at this point, and I think Prey was the first game I had really started playing after the release of the playtest. So I was at that point I was just playing this pretty much all day. It'd be 1.5 life at that point. Oh, sorry, this is way back from Half-Life. I just now read that. Sorry, my bad. More of a round 2, though. And I don't know how long ago you sent that, but I totally just caught it now, and now I don't know what you're referencing. My bad, Ace. Anyways, yeah, here got into September, so playing Final Fantasy. Oh, interestingly, so some of these games like Warframe, Patch Quest, DMC, Doom Eternal, I had actually done like some sound measuring stuff. I had like made I wrote a piece on ARM Web about why RPG Maker is so loud, and I just tested other game engines, so I actually had downloaded these games just to test some sound stuff. I did actually wind up playing some more Doom Eternal though. I downloaded it just to, you know, do the sound testing, but god, that game is so fun that I just wound up playing a couple of levels. So, anyways, yeah. October, I kind of got back into replaying Skyrim for a little bit. On Nexus Mods, they have like, what is it? They have like mod collections. Gosh, I could do a whole video about this. I downloaded a mod collection, and then I was so disappointed with the collection. The thing is that I couldn't tell like how bad of a collection it would be until after I'd put like 40 hours in, and that knocked the wind out of it. The answer to that question, Wrath, is that RPG Maker is not really so loud compared to other game engines. I think one of the main problems is just that the music is usually turned up higher than most other games. Like usually the background music is mixed much lower. But relatively speaking, actually, funnily enough, Doom Eternal is way louder than RPG Maker. Warframe is like right up there as well in volume, but it has a lot to do with how the sounds are mixed and how all of the different audio channels are mixed as well. That kind of gives the perception of it being way louder than it actually is. So anyways, yeah, Skyrim was kind of disappointing replaying it just because I picked a bad mod collection. Yep. Anyways, and then here we are, November, December. Yep. Oh, No Man's Sky. Oh, did it count the rest of December? Hell yeah. I played a lot of fucking No Man's Sky. There's two things I've done a lot of during my winter break. I've done a lot of game dev stuff, and I have played a shitload of No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky is great, all right? We are 8 years past its horrendous launch. Give it a try now. Which I transferred over to Steam when given the option. I don't know what you mean, but cool, brother. It's because Theme 6 has the Amen break. Anyways, glad we went through that. Why did we go through that? I don't know. It was Brave Village, right. We haven't put it on here, so we'll just put it here. Apparently it should be at the top. Brave Village. There we go. Alright, let's keep going. Let's not slow down. Prove it or move it. Oh yeah, this game. I think the guy, actually, he was pretty cool when I kind of wrote a review about my experience with it, and he was pretty cool about it. And I think he either lowered the price or made it free. Or increased the price? I don't remember it being 1,200 yen. Well, anyways, he was pretty cool about my response. Maybe he hasn't implemented the price change. Game of the Year, Brave Village. Everyone played 1 million hours of it. Hell yeah. But anyways, I didn't like Prove It or Move It. I'm glad the dev was pretty cool about my response, but it was not very fun. Fading Voikos. I remember why it's... Oh! This was the game where, like, the characters are, like, flying at the screen, like, super fast. And this game was bad, right? I don't really remember. God, this was not that long ago, and I really don't remember. And I think, actually, we had a chat about it in my Discord, too. We talked about why it was so bad, and I can't even... Nope. I can't even remember. Oh! Wait. Oh, yeah. I'm gonna... Wait. Oh, I put it in Concord. Well, I guess it's gonna live there now. I meant to put it in I don't remember. Oh, well, it's gonna be there now because I still don't really remember, but I remember I found it because there was like a Reddit post showing off the game, and like the UI looked really bad, but otherwise it looked like it would be kind of a cut above the rest. Oh gosh, it's kind of all coming back to me now. And then I remember, so it looked like it was going to be a cut above some of your typical RM garbage. I still figured it'd be pretty janky, but maybe there'd be some signs of like the passion showing through, like something that would actually be maybe bad, but potential behind it, right? And then it turned out to just be straight up bad. It was basically the guy threw every plugin at his project and basically changed none of the default values. He also had like a bunch of AI art in it, but then also I remember it killed me. It just absolutely slayed me when he had all this AI art, and then he had just like one of the pictures was like just some like really derpy looking like MS Paint doodle. Okay, so some of it's coming back to me, but yeah, it was, I definitely remember it being very not good. Flare Nui Nui quest. Yeah. I remember it. This was the HoloLive game, and it was like basically Mega Man. Mac was actually in the stream and saying he liked it. He liked that it was kind of, you know, unforgiving, old school kind of run and gun platformer, 2D platformer. I didn't really enjoy it because it felt like it had a lot of rage bait mechanics in there. So, yeah. The horror of death. I don't remember this one. Oh. This is because I think this is one of the games. Hang on. I think this is one of the games I just picked out because I needed to review it for the RPG Maker Feedback Festival. It is. Oh, yeah. Wow. I'm gonna put this under, I don't remember, because, yeah, but it's coming back to me now. Yeah. Yeah. I barely remember. But we're just gonna put it here. The horror of death. There we go. Okay, and wow, that was not that long ago either. I do remember Overrider though. Overrider, this is another one of those games. I'm gonna have to put it under it's bad. But it has the potential to be cool. It is in early access. I did write a review for it. And actually this game gave me a lot of views. And I think actually it's because of all those views it gave me that because of all those views and people actually stuck around and watched the Overrider section of that portion of the stream, it gave me a lot of watch time too, and I think it's because of that it's pushed me so close to hitting the threshold to get partial monetization on my channel. So I guess I'm thankful for Overrider, which is also why Overrider is in the thumbnail. Come on guys, come on, watch the stream. I need your views. So anyways, yeah, Overrider's it has potential but was not in a great state. Hopefully it'll be better later in its development. I do want to mention it's really hard to look up information because there's another game called Overrider that's coming out soon. And I actually think this name is better for this game because you ride a skateboard, so you are a rider. Maybe for the Android one, it should be writer over rider, not rider. Anyways, but yeah, that could potentially be a problem. Who knows? But anyways, there are two games with the same name. So we're not talking about the skateboard game. We're talking about the booby waifu cyberpunk game. I was just about to type in Overrider, not rider. But yeah, this one. This is the one that we're talking about. So I'm glad to see it's actually got quite a few reviews going on for it. You know, that's pretty cool. Here's my review. I do think a lot of the people who came to watch me play it came from here because I did link it. Oh, the developer responded to this one. I wonder what he said. Hang on. We see that you really played through the entire game, and many of the feedback points are quite detailed, which is invaluable to us. We're working hard to address every issue, but we also need players like you to provide thoughtful feedback. If you're interested, feel free to join the beta. Huh, I wonder why he left that for here. I wonder why he responded here, but not to, like, mine or anything. Maybe I didn't play enough time, so he didn't think my feedback was valuable enough. Interesting. Anyways, alright. Overrider and White Rose. That's another game I think I had picked up for the feedback festa. That I also don't remember, if I'm being honest. I don't remember any of these fucking RPG Maker games. This title doesn't even look familiar to me. I don't remember this, and this was just a couple of streams ago. You ought to make a Path of Exile 2 stream complaining how it's too hard and armor sucks. That ought to get you a bunch of views. So I've heard. How come I don't remember this at all? This was only this was only a few streams ago. Oh! Okay, I remember aimlessly wandering around this town and also, like, the trees constantly, like, blocking the path. I remember that. Anyways, yeah, wow, okay. All these, I don't know, just fucking RPG Maker games. Nah. What is it? White Rose. There we go. Oh, and wasn't the dude, like, a complete creep? I just remembered that, too. Yeah, the main protagonist feels like an utter creep. Yeah. And janky trees. Yeah. This is the D-Gauss button on Nolan's head. Oh, yeah, thanks. I need that. Apparently. No, I just... These a lot of these RPG Maker games, man, they all just blend together. It's all forgettable. I don't know. There's nothing in these that are making them, you know, stand out amongst the crowd. That's the thing, right? So, okay. So, that covers every game that I played on stream over the past year. Wow, and I thought I was going to have time for, like, maybe some other things I did this past year, but I don't think so. Yeah, so... let's look at the final score here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12, it's and this one's kind of, actually, you know what? I feel different about the Revenant Prince now that we made it there. Now that we've gone through this, it's just gonna go there. So yeah, 12. We have 12 games that were pretty good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 games I don't remember, and I don't feel like counting all that. And that many games that were just bad that I do remember. Although some of those are interesting. Like let me pull those out. Hang on. Yeah, there we go. Auto select. Okay, so Silent Kingdom. I'm gonna put it down here at the bottom. At week's end. On a Hot Mom. Overrider? Maybe. Alright, so these are bad games, but I graded them based on the state that they were in. So, I think in order, I think I'm most hopeful for Hot Mom's success. I mean, I'm hopeful for all of their success, of course, but I'm hoping for my own personal enjoyment that On a Hot Mom is really good whenever its final product is released. And then maybe Silent Kingdom, and then At Week's End, and then Overrider. There we go. So mini tier list there. How about the It's Pretty Good category? Let's put the number 1 at the top. Let's see. I think I'm gonna put Kunitsugami at the top. And no, sorry. It's gonna be 2. Brave Village, clearly number 1. Goated, obviously. And then Kunitsugami. And then I actually do think You Must Become Lich should be pretty high. I think it's gonna be Orsted's not there. I think Tevi will be next, and then maybe You Must Become Lich. It's funny because all those games I've actually played and own. The rest of these, I do own Forever Home. I don't know how about. Yeah, I guess I'm so iffy. Forever Home's gonna go at the bottom. And then, yeah, I don't know. Maybe I think I would enjoy Dungeon Drafters more. And then Pry into the Void. And then maybe Orsted, Dungeon Rummage, Raji, Grave Danger. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that arrangement. There we go. Yeah, there we go. That's the order I'd put them in. Number 1, clearly Brave Village, obviously. And then we have Kunitsugami, Tevi, You Must Become Lich, Dungeon Drafters, Pry into the Void, Orsted, Dungeon Rummage, Raji, Grave Danger, Forever Home, Caliph. So there we go. That's the It's P Good tier list. I don't remember any of these, so they can all just rot there. And then let's just sort these by like the worst, except I like Deepest Regret being at the top, so we're just gonna leave that one there. Just like Brave Village totally deserves its top position. And then I don't know, worst. Oh, that's the thing. That's hard. That's hard to pick. There are so many really bad games that I played. I don't know. I really can't. I think isekaiing is gonna have to go there. Oh no. Oh my god. Oh, what a difficult choice. Isekaiing or Artifact Stinker. So here's the thing. I actually think Artifact Stinker is worse. just because it's clearly very cynical. It's copying Vampire Survivors. It's just shoving a bunch of just like psychology, manipulative psychology, you know, dopamine, you know, clickers, whatever in there to just get you to play more of the game. It's clearly like very mobile focused. They've tried everything they can to like game the system as well. Like it's clearly made from a very cynical place. It uses a ton of AI garbage too. Isekaiing is bad, but it's made by a single dude who may not like. He's trying. I have sympathy for him. I have sympathy for the guy. His game is terrible, but I feel like he himself is not in a very mentally stable place, and it probably doesn't help that he lives in a war-torn country. He's from Ukraine. So yeah. I don't know. I hate his fucking AI shit. And that he's charging money for this, but I can sympathize with him way more than just the pure cynicism that is Artifact Stinker. I think Sword Car and Nightmare Car can go at the bottom. I think it's actually going to be easier to work backwards on this, if I'm being honest. Yeah, and like Astral Outcast. Oh, Astral Outcast could probably go over here too, if I'm being honest. I'm just gonna put it down there. Let's see. I think RZ can go here. I think that's totally fine. Oh. Too boring Explorer, definitely. I think that's gonna be... I'm gonna leave some space. There might be something that's worse than Too Boring Explorer. Oh, Prelude for a Dream, of course. Voikos. Yeah. I think what's going to happen is Too Boring is going to be kind of winding up in the middle. I think Flare Nui Nui can go here. I think that's fine. Oops, I'm kind of moving everything. What happened there? There we go. Mimic Mac can go there, and then Enotria. I'd actually probably put Enotria before Mimic Mac. There we go. Then maybe Divine Dynamo. I think that's fine. Goose King. Flower in Us. That's okay. Revenant Prince. I think Sunnyside is going to go here. Digital Carnival. Damn Champions. Actually, I'll definitely put Damn Champions there. Actually, probably even there. Wild Silver, Sunnyside, Digital Carnival, Devil Plays Dice. Nah, Doctor Who, there we go. Prove it or move it. Ah! Moving everything. No. There we go. I think that's gonna be the order. Something like that. I feel like that pretty much covers it. So, starting from least worst, so down at the bottom, and we're gonna go up to the most worst, which is at the top. We have Sword Car, Nightmare Cart, RZ, and I would honestly say all of those are kind of like the same bracket, all of them at the same level. It's just that I have to put it in this order. So, anyways, Flare, Nui Nui, Enotria, Mimic Mac, Divine Dynamo, Goose King, Flower in Us, The Revenant Prince. I might even actually switch those. I think I'm gonna switch those around, honestly. There we go. So never mind. Goose King, The Revenant Prince, Flower in Us, Prove It or Move It, Devil Plays Dice, Starting Clocks of Doctor Who, Too Boring, Explorer, Digital Carnival, Sunnyside, Wild Silver, Damn Champion, Voikos, Prelude for a Dream, Isekaiing, Artifact Stinker, and at number 1, Deepest Regret. Except really, truthfully, Artifact Stinker is actually the true number 1. And there we have it. Okay. So, what a year of many different games that I played. And hopefully, it will be another full year of many good and bad games that I'll play. Yeah. Going forward with this year, what we're probably going to be seeing a lot more out of me. So, when it comes to streams, I will probably continue to do what I have been doing for the past few streams. I don't think I'm necessarily going to be looking for... I'm pretty much done with itch. I think a lot of the games on itch are almost always a miss. I think pretty much almost everything on the bad list came from itch. The bar for entry on itch is just way too low that you just wind up finding way too much garbage on there. So I think I'm pretty much done with that. I think going forward is, the past few streams you may have noticed, I've mostly been digging into Steam. And I will probably continue to do that. I will occasionally, because I am obviously an RPG Maker channel, or an RPG Maker dev channel, whatever person, I will probably occasionally throw an RPG Maker game in there sometimes too, but it'll also probably be something that I find on Steam and probably not on itch. So anyways, I think that's just the way that I'm going to be doing this going forward, is I'll just continue doing what you have seen me do for the past, I don't know how many streams at this point. But I like doing that a lot more. There's a lot more surprises that come out of it, good and bad. You know, you find total diamonds in the rough like Brave Village. So yeah, but... the next stream that I'm going to do, I've already talked about, is I want to talk about the drama around Sunnyside. I do think there's actually an interesting story there. It's not 100% the fault of the devs, although I don't think the devs are helping their situation. But anyways, there's definitely an interesting story to talk about with that one. So that will be what we do next time I stream. It should probably be next weekend, but I'll let you know if I have any plans that move that stream. The one thing is for sure is there's a lot of, I want to make sure I get the story straight on some of this stuff with the Sunnyside thing. So you know, there's also a chance that I may just not even be fully prepared to tell that story. I thought about doing it today as well and just kind of canceling this stream or moving it to next weekend. But yeah, again, I just want to make sure that I have these this information accurate, and I want to do a little bit more research on the topic as well. So yeah, I'll make sure that I'm prepared for that when we get there. So anyways, that's gonna be for next time. For today, thank you guys so much for sticking around and listening to me talk about all these games that I played, and threw in some music in there just for fun. So anyways, I guess I'll see you guys next time, whenever that is. Thank you so much for a wonderful 2024. Here's hoping 2025 we're able to get this channel partially monetized. Would be great if it's fully monetized too before the end of the year, but I'm not holding out hope for that one. So here's to another glorious year on this ball that we live on, that will I'm surprised it's not been completely set on fire yet, but basically has been. Anyways, thanks so much, and see you guys next time. Bye.